Hey guys, sorry, that was the first time for me for doing that. Hey, Aid. Hey, Food Forest Permaculture. I saw you guys come in later. Hey, Howie. I am so happy to see my side chat here and at the same time so grieved for some friends tonight. I can't get into any details because that's up to them, but just yeah, pray for people right now. The world is really crazy. And I really, before I wrote that title tonight, I felt something. It was just so off today. I want to thank Homestead Aquarius. I saw you shared me out. I didn't get to, go over and thank you for that. I just saw it for a millisecond. I was running around so quickly trying to get everything done so I could come up and be here tonight. I want to thank you for sharing me out, Homestead Aquarius. Thank you so much. Lewis came into Storms. Hey, Storms, Radios, and Cats. Barry. I'm saying a lot. Sorry about that. Gardening Warrior Q. Thank you, sweetheart. You said you liked it. I appreciate that. I'm still having technical issues on how to figure out how to do it correctly so it doesn't have the delay. Oh, great. My cough drop just like flipped. It's one of those hollow ones. Give me 1 second. There, it came out. Like it has the stuff in the middle and the hollow part just like stuck right to the side of my gum line. Hey, AC, is it Kuderik? Kuderik? Not really sure if I'm saying it right. Nice to have you in the challenge, in the Gardening Homesteading Skills Challenge. Also, I wanted to say thanks for Aid being here. I already said hi to him, but he's had his Wi-Fi out, and I don't know if he'll be in and out tonight or not. Passamaquoddy, my dear friend Cindy, thank you so much for being here. So appreciate you here. And of course, Lark's Homesteadish, who she's been in here a few times, and she's in the challenge with us. Such a neat lady. And Hedgehog, I am so glad to see you, Laura. I missed you so much. Missed you so much. But yeah, and yeah, that I'm trying to hold on 1 second. I'm trying to scroll down. I'm delayed a little bit here on my side. A little shaken up. Hey Sean, good to see you. Hey Brutal Bob, thanks for coming in. Everybody coming in right now. Hopefully getting the notif. I appreciate you coming in so much. But yeah, so tonight's was aptly named about not sure about this FRI-YAY. And every time I click, I don't know if this happens to you guys, for those of you who do StreamYard, and leave, YouTube open, but it delays so much. Um, yeah, it delays a lot on the YouTube side, like, I have to go over and actually push it forward. So, I meant what I said, not sure about this FRI-YAY, the wacky weather, things are, like, coming early as far as the weather is concerned, as far as, like, my plants bolting, like, my basil bolted early, because of the wacky weather. You know, a lot of us are getting those hot and then, I mean, up north, they're getting hot cold. I'm getting hot cool, and it's cool here today, and I was talking to AC, and he's up in Michigan, and he's getting way hotter weather. Sorry, I am tearing up, and it goes through my nose. Let me see, hold on. Let me just looking at something real quick. Anyways, this, about things feeling off, or is it our fate? Like, are we making this fate? But some of them, the fate, no, we can't make it. It just happens to us. Um, and the idea of spinning it a different direction is spending it with friends and, carrying each other's burdens. Wow, your daikon radishes are going to seed too. Yeah, my radishes went to seed a while back. I had to pull them out. They were just so bad. They were melting, totally melting in the sun. I got a few of the regular, like, radishes, the cherry size little radishes, but yeah, but I put stuff in a little too late too. And now, my other stuff isn't gonna go in because it hasn't stopped raining. American Rains, hey, whose channel is that? Did you change your name? Yes, Sean, bear ye one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. I thought it was you, Garrett. The way I was like, there's only one person who says that to me. Oh, Sean, thank you for that. Yeah, I had a really good devotional tonight. And yeah, it was really good, but I'm afraid I'm gonna cry because yeah, it was some bad, just yeah, some not great news. But I thought if my friends by chance are listening, which I don't blame them if they're not, um, it's out of this book which I got when when I was taking care of my mom before she got real bad. I, it says for June 2nd, calm, freedom, and strength. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17 is the verse. When we moved here, um, we found this small little church, and it was just so sweet. I loved it. Just loved the feel of it. But before I loved the feel of it, I, before I knew the feel of the church, or just that we might go there, uh, we went, and in the front was their worship leader. Her name was Kalana. That's what they called her. Uh, and she was singing that song, Where the Freedom of the Lord Is. And it's a beautiful song. I don't know if you've ever heard it. It's not like I think it became a little more popular. I didn't hear it like mainstream, of course, but in churches it became popular. And oh, I just remember her singing it and thinking, like, she is just singing, like, right to God. She's in heaven right now with him, the way she's singing. Like, she's just right there. There's nobody else in this room to her. And it was just so, it affected me so deeply. You play it? Get out of here, Hedgehog. We're gonna have to, I don't know, we might have to try and work something out. You know how to play it? Girl, I wish I could put you on the spot right now because I so want to hear that song, especially right now. Have a little worship up in here. Um, but the sad thing that happened was I lost my brother and I stopped going. Like, I just stopped completely. And one day I felt compelled to pull in. I felt compelled to pull into the church. And my husband, I think, was going, because that is there. And he is I am abstract random. He's concrete sequential. So he was going every Sunday, and waiting for me to come because this was really the church that I kind of picked. Like, it spoke to my heart. And I came and I spoke to the pastor and I said, you know what? I lost my brother. I don't want to be a pet project of the church. I know I'm going to sit in your sanctuary and just cry. I'm just going to be here and I'm going to cry because that's what worship music does to me. That's what the Lord's presence does to me. It just takes down all the stuff we put up. And he's like, are you kidding? He's like, that's not a pet project. Pet project is the one that comes in and thinks there's nothing wrong, goes out and lives like, the worst sinner in the world, comes in on Sunday and thinks that that's going to change them just because they show up. And there's no like heart change. There's no recognition of this is, a place where you can meet with God, and that there's a certain holiness to it, if you allow it to be, because, church is what each person makes it when they walk in, and church does not make a person a Christian. So I was just like, he was very sweet and very kind to me. And I thought, okay, this is maybe a safe place I can go. So I think, I don't know if I went to the women's ministry had a thing, and I went to that, and that was beautiful. And of all things, they show this picture of Jesus holding a person from behind, and it was a drug user. And I didn't lose my brother to a drug overdose, but I lost him to the drug lifestyle. And I ran at the church. I ran. I couldn't look at the picture. I was thinking, like, this is great. Like, my first event that I'm here, and I'm not going to make it through. And the ladies were sweet. Like, I tried to be discreet. I didn't run. I like, hurried out as best I could. And a woman came with me and prayed with me, like, in the bathroom. And I thought, okay, like, I can do this. I can, get back in there and I can do this. I just didn't want to draw like attention to me, because there was tons of women there wanting to just have their time with God and learn. And yeah. So this ends, we get through this weekend. I think I go for a couple Sundays. At the time, my mom and dad were still here, and I was helping them clean out their house. And my mom wanted to sell because she was devastated too that my brother it was her son. So I was dealing with her being gone in a way too. And I want to say it was not long after that women's event at the church, because it was like a whole weekend long. They catered. It was a beautiful thing that they put on. That we get a call that Kalana had flipped her Jeep, the car that I always wanted, the car that my father drove World War II. He drove Jeeps, and I always wanted to get a Wrangler. She had flipped her Jeep and died on the scene. And this was the woman who sat in front of the church. And since I had been gone, she hadn't been able to sing much because she had gotten polyps on her vocal cords. So anyway, what ends up happening is, we just, I end up healing, kind of grieving along with the church. And we held kind of one another through that. And I, having the art background that I did, I ran to the church and I said, I know what loss is like. I know you're grieving really hard right now. Let me do something. And knowing that Kalana had family in Hawaii, I I looked up uh, how to make lays, and I sat there and I I think it was 30 lays with help, but I was put in charge of it. Like they were grieving, the church was grieving, pastor, everybody was grieving in the church. This was also the youth leader's wife. So yeah, that the youth were grieving, and I knew what that was like. I lost our youth pastor when he was older and I was older. We lost him to he was a missionary pilot, and he was hit by somebody who just had their brand new license. So I knew kind of what that was like, even though I did it like I was in my 20s when it happened. So sometimes we're just in places that are really, really hard and go through really, really hard stuff. But it doesn't mean that God stops being God and that he's not there working. So that was my little story, but this is what the devotion said. It says, apart from God, we have a reason to fear. But with him, it's a whole different story. His power is greater than anything we face, and his good gifts overwhelm every threat and fear. He is the game changer. Picture Jesus standing on the boat, telling the wind and waves, quiet, be still. He can do the same for our heart if you let him. He will calm all your fears. It's from Zephaniah 3:17. Jesus gives freedom and strength. He provides a spirit not of fear, but of power and love. And the version I always read was sound mind or self-control. And he gives peace. He told his disciples, I'm leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And peace I give as a gift. The world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid, because Jesus knew what they were going to face from the world. We're human. So yes, we make mistakes and have limitations. We live with uncertainty and potential dangers, but none of those things keep God from being who he is or from giving what he gives. He is the Almighty who makes peace possible. So run to him and trust him so he can calm and steady you. I praise you because you and your gifts change everything, God. But seriously, that was today's. And I didn't look at it until I had like a little time after my shower. So that's for my friends. And they know who they are, who are out there, who gave me the devastating news of the things that they're walking through. You'll get to the other side. It still might hurt sometimes when you recall it. But I'm not crying over my own stuff right now. But it's so good to see you guys. So forgive me for this downer moment because this is FRI-YAY. Um, I love that one. Yeah. My flesh and my heart. That's a really good song too when we used to sing that. My flesh and my heart faileth, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Um, yeah. Hey, Red Road Homestead, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. I'm gonna drop the link. Thank you. Oh, hey, Howard Garden Hickland. Thanks for dropping that. And Cashew. Love you, Cashew. You're so awesome. I'm so glad I opened that door and said, oh, Cashew, I need you in here, please. I need you in my channel. You're awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Glenn, for dropping her link. Yeah, if you all want your links dropped, I'm sorry. I do not have the lovely bot that does that because it doesn't like me. Oh, hey, Kaylin Stream. No, honey, you're not in the wrong chat. You're fine. It's not going to be a whole Christian chat. That's just like, if I walked in and you were doing a reading or something like that, you're still my friend, but I would ask probably the same question, like, "Where are we going with this?" Um, but yeah, if you guys check out each other's channels, I think most of you all are in the um, challenge with me that are in the side chat. So thank you for coming in and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Let me drop the link for coming up on panel. Laura, if you're free, you're more than welcome to come up. I would love to fellowship with you and just spend time with you. But yeah, let me see. I am just having a little bit. Oh, this is the other reason I'm a little bit off. This is what I wanted to tell you guys. I don't know if, well, I know I have friends in here who have heart issues. This stuff, if you have heart issues, stay away from it. It's got guarana and caffeine in it. The B vitamins is what I was after. I knew it had maybe a little caffeine. I didn't read it. My own fault. Last time I only did maybe a half of one of these. I did the full thing in my water, and I had a resting heart rate earlier of 70, and it shot up to like 105. Hey, Scratch Master. Who might you be? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Do they have some Jane chemicals? I was wondering if they did. I'll have to look it up. My husband drinks them for work instead of drinking soda, Sean. And he does like half strength. That's it. I'm discombobulated because of your shenanigans and tomfoolery. And because my nose won't stop running. Isn't that awesome? That's like at my wedding. I had that sound all through my wedding. It's not a DVD back then. I'm sorry to say. I got married in the times of VCR tapes. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Did I copy and paste it? I am discombobulated. Let's try to be good. Sean, I can't do kombucha. Do you know kombucha has wild yeasts in it, and people who are sensitive to yeast or women who are filled with yeast or have issues with other stuff like that shouldn't really drink it, even though they say it's healing for yeast. It gave me thrush. I loved it. I still love it. But in fairness to kombucha, I never got my own SCOBY and made it on my counter and all that funky stuff. I went to the health food store and got one of the, best ones that they had. So. Hey, girl. You
hey.
which right away. Let's play that song.
How are you?
Oops, hold on. Did your sound just, or that? Oh, my sound's low. Is that better? I had my sound on low. Okay. I just saw
Am I okay?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, okay, good.
Let me hear you for a second.
How's everybody doing? It's good to see everybody.
Oh, my Q. That's scary. That's like dead, right? 40 over 50? That ain't good at all.
No. Does it shoot up and make you dizzy? Like when you move around? Because then it's really scary.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was like.
Unless you're like a major athlete where it's like you have a really low resting heart rate because you're so exercised. Hi, Tibor.
Oh, thanks, Tibor.
Good to see you.
Green country. That's interesting. Because it is kind of like drinking cider and vinegar mixed together as kombucha. It has that flavor to some people. I can taste a little bit of it, but I guess it depends on what flavors with it, what tea you use and stuff.
Yeah. I like kombucha. But yeah.
So what's up with you guys? How's the homestead going?
Oh, it's going. We're about to make our chicken coop. Because we got
That's
our
awesome.
babies ready to. Oh man, our geese are getting so tall. Jeez, they're just like ready to bust out.
Oh my goodness. How
Huey
is
and Louie.
Norman? What was the thing with Norman? I didn't get to find that out. What's
Norman has a wound on his leg, and we don't
Oh,
know what
that's
it's from, but
oh.
it's like the size of a quarter, and
Oh.
it's starting to fill in now. And
Oh, good.
I was treating it, and what I was doing was working, but then he just started licking it all the time, and so he infected it worse, and so
Yeah.
he needed antibiotics and all of that stuff.
Poor
So
guy. Oh,
yeah,
I'm glad that's all it was because I saw that and I didn't know if that was from an IV or what that was, and I must have missed the video where you explained it.
yeah,
I just
but he's walking. He's poor guy. He's always jumping on people's laps and stuff like that. And when he's got a cone head, to
mhm.
jump on people's laps is kind of comical. But I feel
I
so
saw that. I saw that. That was so cute.
it's
You were
like,
like,
oh.
pulled the cone head back a little
And
bit.
of course, he loves to like lay under blankets and stuff like that. And so he's trying to go under a blanket with cone head. So it's pretty
Oh.
funny.
Oh,
But
I didn't know that's what it stood for. It's a SCOBY is social culture of bacteria and yeast.
hmm
Yeah, that might be why my body doesn't like it,
yeah,
or at least reacts to it. My mouth likes it. My taste buds like it. I,
yes,
I liked it a little too much, probably. Got his own quarter slot.
he does. No, I think I have a picture of the wound.
An infantile infection? I don't know. Do dogs get infantile?
I don't know. It's a pretty bad one.
Yeah.
It got so bad that it was starting to have a really bad smell, and I was
Oh,
just
that's
like,
not good. Yeah, that's bad. That's
"Eh."
like their ears. When their ears get like really, really bad, yeah, then you
Mhm,
know
mhm.
it's too funky. Our dog would get that. They never told us this, but the thyroid issue that she had was related to the ears. If they have thyroid issue, they're going to have chronic ear infections usually. She had a low thyroid.
Mm.
Oh, impetigo? Is that what it is? Yeah, I thought it sounded weird. Thank you, Larks.
I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Healing. It was like bigger than that, and like
The white part there? What am I
the
looking at?
white part is the part where the skin is healing. That's an open wound.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah,
gives me the EBGBs.
it
Hey,
was open and green stuff was coming.
Ew. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, a mosquito bite can be a common cause. Interesting. Yuck.
a mosquito bite. Yeah,
Yeah, Passamaquoddy, I'm glad that this dog here has the ears that are up more because I didn't want to have to be
yeah,
looking at that like all the time happening again. But then I read too, it was thyroid related because she had the lower thyroid. A lot of those dogs end up with yeast problems, especially in their ears.
yeah,
So, but I'm glad he's healing up. That's good.
yeah.
Oh, I wondered, what is the Amish origins drawing sound? Is that what it's called? Because I've heard of the drawing sound and I wondered where I could get some. Hey, Ragnarok's here. Good to see
Wonderful.
you, Ragnarok,
Wiggly
homesteading
Wiggly
for
sells a
adventures.
bunch of the Amish stuff. Hi,
I know
Ragnarok.
you got the Amish near you. I wish they don't. They only come to Florida for vacation, and it's up north,
They do come a
northern
lot.
Florida.
They love Florida.
I know it's so weird. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, we don't do electricity, but we'll do Florida.
but they stay in homes in Florida that have electricity.
Yeah, I don't get that
Yeah, yeah.
because it's vacation.
Mhm,
The Lord looks at that vacation with grace.
mhm.
I don't know. How does it? I guess depends on
I don't know. We have
is it a parish? Is it a parish? The group that they're in. because each is different, they said.
Sects. They're sects.
Yeah, sects.
Yeah.
That's right. They're
The
sects.
sect that we have a couple Amish guys logging our property, and they're taking out the bigger trees so that the smaller ones can grow and thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're young. They're like really young. They own their own
Oh, bye.
business.
Hold on. Bye, Sean Meckham. See you later, hon. Thanks for
Bye.
coming.
They're like what, 21 and 18, and they own their own business, but they're allowed to operate machines. But like they have two bulldozers and this machine that like cleans the bark off. But
Okay.
they got in trouble for using that because that's too much. That's
Too much
too
technology.
much. They can't be doing that. They need
Oh,
to do it the
darn.
old way.
What are they gonna? They're gonna have to sell the machine now.
But
Goodness.
they were renting the machine, so
Oh, good. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I
But I'm
didn't know if
just
they
like,
had bought it for
really?
their
They haven't
business.
got rid of it yet, so they're still using it.
Yeah,
So
maybe they'll go Mennonite, Hugo. I think it was the Amish, though. That's why they got in trouble.
what about the
Thank you, Cashew. Yes, we said it with the CTS, not the other word. Thank
yes,
you.
for sure. No, and
Oh, you did?
we're probably going to have our other trees harvested, our pines, by the Mennonites. So
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
so yeah, we have them all around here, kind of.
Oh, I didn't see it. Hold on. I gotta take care of something real quick. So, is Chris liking the new lifestyle that you guys had, other than, of course, any of the other stuff that was going on with him not, feeling too great? But
Right.
is he liking being up there?
Yes, he loves it here. We both do. I mean, we sit on our front porch and you know watch the sun go down, and or our back porch to watch the sun go down. But
Mm,
it's just beautiful, and you know he's working so hard on uh, preparing our pastures for animals and stuff like that. So
oh, really nice. Hey, CR, good to see you. Sorry, I
see,
was on the other page on the YouTube page. CR, you're not there yet. Or something. I don't know why it does that. It always like pushes back
mm-hmm.
and I can't see stuff. Huh. I am having a hard time removing something and I can't. YouTube is being so weird. They're changing things around.
They're changing a lot again. I've noticed that. Like for a while, I was getting shared out really well, and now I'm not. It's like, what's the heck? What's the deal?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm
I'll
showing
be
somebody
right back.
some.
I gotta go to the restroom.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Sorry, guys. I am all kinds of discombobulated tonight. I knew that was going to be one of those nights. I don't. Yeah, I'm really trying to figure out how to do this. Okay. Oh, that's a cinnamon bun. I was wondering, like right after we were talking about yeasty things. Yummy. That's the kind of yeast I like. Yeasty rolls. Yeasty cinnamon rolls. Yeah, Tennessee countryside is so peaceful at sunset. Oh. Oh, okay, Hugo. What's your prepping question, hon? I don't know. Larks, I'm wondering if the sun farted. I know you don't call it that. And I don't know if the sun had any farts or anything.
The sun farted.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know if it farted today. Because it can affect people, their moods and everything. And just,
mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just really weird today. Weird day.
I did notice that too. That the moon
Just the
looks good.
vibe. The vibe is weird. Like,
Mhm.
besides, like, all the weird
Yeah, we had a rough day. So
yeah,
it was
and
just one of those days. It's like, okay.
okay, time to, start over tomorrow.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you. The coronal mass ejections, yes, solar flares. Thank you for the better words.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yes, my brain wouldn't go there. It would only say sun parts because I joke around about that. Call them that.
Mhm.
The Sawyer Mini, how cold can it get or hot, like stored in a bag in your car? I don't have that, so I don't know. Do you have the Sawyer Mini?
I don't even know what that is.
Anybody have a Sawyer Mini? It does mean something, so yeah, probably reach out to the manufacturer's your best bet, then take it from us.
Mhm.
That's the same thing with people even on YouTube. You've gotta always double check what they're telling
Oh
you.
yeah. Yeah.
Always
Please.
before you
Please do.
yes, please do.
Mhm.
Remember, most of this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
And we
And some
try
people, they hear it from somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, and
yeah,
you know,
and then it gets really bad because, yeah, that's
and even if
oh,
it's
good
in a
night. Carl Glenn's gone, but good night, Glenn. Have a good night, hon.
good night, Glenn. Yeah,
Oh,
even if
she has
it's
it. Okay. Oh, it's the Sawyer Mini, the straws. Got it.
oh
For the water. I don't know. I don't have one of them. I didn't get one of them. I want more of a pitcher. I don't plan on bugging out.
yeah, me either. I'm bugging in.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Jason. That's terrible. Let's see. I left it out over winter for us. I knew I had heard the name before, but I just didn't know what either. If yeah, it's like the life straw. I knew what you meant after Kaylin said that about filter. My
I've
brain
tried
went.
the life straw on a hiking trip, and I didn't like it at all.
Mm. Yeah, humidity absorber sounds about right to help suck out what's in the
Hmm.
straw. Is that what you mean, Hugo? Wouldn't want the plastic to melt if your car gets too hot. I have no idea how or crack really. Like
Yeah.
if the sun can crack our car, put like
Hmm.
the inside,
Yeah. Or
it can
connect you to
probably
something that's not even
yeah,
as good as
well
that.
made. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's terrible. Green country, I'm sorry. CR kinda new. But yeah, I would definitely look it up online from that maybe their website.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, no, I have pictures for bugging in, Hugo. I have a picture. I just don't have that Sawyer thing. And in fact, I wanna get the 0 picture because I just grabbed something real quick and the little pills for dropping
Hmm.
in water.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I totally do. I need it for hurricane season, Hugo. You're right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
true. Now, when is hurricane season exactly?
We're, I think, in it. I think it just began and we
Okay.
already had, I think, a named storm in the Gulf, but it wasn't a hurricane. It was a okay. Yeah, I think it's hurricane season already. I would have to double check that they were saying that, like that it was already starting
Mm.
because of there was a storm out in the Atlantic and nobody listened. They put a ship right out in it.
Mm.
80-mile-an-hour winds, and it took off the bottom of the decks of the ship that people paid
Wow.
money to be on. Yeah. They, like, brought all the people, I guess, up and inward towards the center of the ship.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kinda really scary. Really, really scary. I don't know
Thank you,
why they
Caitlin.
wouldn't be checking NOAA weather, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe because it isn't official yet.
Right.
We're pretty
It
lax
feels
here
it.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because it's Florida.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It is 10 hours ago. They named her Arlene. Tropical storm Arlene forms in the Gulf of Mexico. First named storm of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. Yippee. Yep, it starts right on the 1st of June. That's what I thought. It did start. But the other one started earlier. The other one that was in the Atlantic side.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that they call that the Atlantic because it's in the Gulf. It's coming, the winds are
Right.
coming through, like way over and then into the Gulf. So it's so strange that they say that. I think the
Yeah.
Gulf is going to have its own hurricane season pretty soon because they got hammered last year too.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, because
It
it's
was
El
weird.
Nino. Move to Tasmania and leave those storms behind. Just come where all the things will kill you. Although my state's getting that way. We're like becoming like a mini Australia or Tasmania
Mm-hmm.
with all the imports. I'm telling you. I'm
Yeah.
getting nervous that they're going to start, I'm sure we have, what was it? They did catch a cobra one time that had gotten loose, thank God.
Wow.
Yeah. That
That's
was up
crazy.
towards Orlando. Yeah. Very crazy.
And then you guys have all those boas and all those other things
Yeah,
that.
we have the pythons and anaconda. It was
Mm-hmm.
oh, it was oh gosh, I can't think of her channel. It was Mama Owl. I can't think of her channel. There's definitely some kind of solar flare or something going on because I can barely think it too. Like my
Mm-hmm.
processing is way whack. It's like almost like I have a form of dementia today. It's that bad. I was like, really, should I go on? I probably should just go to bed. And then that zip fist kicked in, and I'm like, I probably should use some of this energy to go live. And then tomorrow night I'll go to bed early
Yeah, there
because
you
I'm
go.
not going to bed now.
Hey, Gear.
Hey, Gear, good to see you. Thank you, Gear. Old ways gardening and prepping. Gear must have been in the background.
Yeah.
I have a ton of 5-gallon buckets already. Let's see. Larks, I made my own with a 10-quart stainless steel cooking pot. It's more durable, better cleaning than plastic buckets. Wait a minute. What am I missing? You guys are talking about some good stuff. If you want to come up, you can. I can drop the link again. We can have like a girls panel. We haven't had one in a long time.
Girls' night.
Girls' night. Same thing with you, Larks. If you have a camera, but you usually don't. I don't think she shows her face on her videos. It's usually just outward looking, which is fine. A lot of people do that. You're getting hit from the Serrano whole stream. What the? Yikes. That sounds awful. What is that, Kaylin? See, I haven't been checking with any of the channels. Okay, not tonight. Oh, okay, got you. That makes sense. Berkey filters a spigot and priming pump to build a bucket. Berkey, cool.
That is cool.
Just have not yet drilled the holes in the bucket. What about, Kaylin, don't they have a filter that's like a pump that you can just put in one of those big jugs I think I saw one that you can just pump the water, but I mean, they have a pump that you can, instead of having the water cooler, you can just
We
pump
have
back
one of
in
those.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do they have like one that has a filter on it to where you can fill it up?
I haven't seen the filter, but we should market it. No,
We'll
no.
talk after the show, Laura. We just
Yeah.
agreed. But now I wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, Huga made her own Berkey. That's very cool. I'm always iffy about the Berkeys only because their filters for a while, China was manufacturing them, and there was a lot of complaints about the glue being toxic that was inside of them.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
not good.
no.
Hmm.
But, I mean, our water here is awful. So bad. I mean, I went to do my sweet potato slips when
Mm-hmm.
I harvested some because I needed to put the 2 beds in the other side. Like, I have those 2 square areas when I
Right.
walk out of my screened-in patio, and I still had a whole bunch of sweet potatoes that kept coming up over there, and I harvested it, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll just turn them all into slips," and I started cutting them, and they were rooting,
Mm-hmm.
and I changed the water, and I don't know if they cleaned our water and put more chlorine in it. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, it, like, killed so many of my slips. They all were
mm.
like, "Oh." Just
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, and they looked so good and so healthy, so I think they flushed the system
I
is what
can't.
they
I
did.
can't get my sweet potatoes to grow because the rabbits keep on eating them. It's like they'll pop up and then the rabbits eat them and then they'll pop up again and the rabbits
Oh
eat
my
them.
gosh, you're gonna need cages like I wanna make for my I have something that is full on. It's gotta be like a little squirrel. It could be a rat, but I don't know how rats are going and
Mm-hmm.
it's plucking the pepper
I
right out.
I thought it was mice because I had never seen any rabbits around except for way on the other side of the property.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm seeing rabbit little droppings everywhere, and it's like, and then
Mm.
I caught a big one in my garden. So I put a fence around my garden, but I need to electrify it.
There
So,
you go. Yeah,
yeah.
zappy zap.
Plus, we
The
did see that
barbecue.
bobcat
Shh.
today
What?
on the property. So,
You what?
yeah,
You say that again? You
a
saw it?
bobcat. We caught
Was it
him
on
on
the
our camera.
cam or you saw it with your like eyes? You saw
It
it
was it
out
was
there.
it was on the property on our camera. We have a
I
couple of game cameras up.
I need to get that.
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, CR, by the way, your plants look great, dude. I caught a glimpse of your thing in passing. And holy, your cams are good. What do you have? That's a
I
clear
don't
shot.
know, something Chris bought.
Chris needs to tell us when you guys finally sit down and do a live again together.
Yeah,
If
we
you,
will. We were gonna do something soon, but we just get caught up in what we're doing, and it's
yeah,
like,
well, you have plenty going on there. I
yeah,
remember moving into this, and this was just a foreclosure, and we were exhausted. I was exhausted. All the things that had to. This house was a disaster.
right.
I found a 7-foot rat snake. Oh my! In the duck shed 2 days back? Wow. Well, I'm glad it was a rat snake and not, one of those rattlers or whatever. What do you guys
I
oh, you're
know.
in Oklahoma. That lady in our state got bit by a rattler because she stepped over it was a log and must have stepped right in front of it because she said she felt like she hit a branch
Mm.
when she stepped over it. Nope. It was a
We
rattler.
we had a snake on our
Almost
front
killed her.
patio, and Chris is like, "That's I forget what he called it. We thought it was poisonous, and so we're
Do
like
you think it
freaking
was
out.
like a timber rattler?
No, it didn't look like a timber rattler. It was
Or
it was probably a king snake or a corn snake, but we really thought that it was something.
well, yeah, because some of them mimic the colors of the
Right.
venomous snakes. Like, we have the
And
scarlet king that looks just very similar to this coral snake down here.
right.
Copperhead, that's what my next one,
That's
Kaylin.
what we thought it was, a copperhead.
Thanks, Kaylin. Thanks for being my other brain tonight. I appreciate it. You say
Uh,
plant sacrificial lettuce. Oh, on the edge of the garden. Okay. Then you'll know too if they're there. No, I don't think they'll stop at
sacrificial
lettuce.
plants, yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. I was wondering if you do like the sacrificial plants, but they also call them, is it trap crop? Trap crops too for
Trap
your bugs.
crops, yeah.
I want to do the trap crops, but what I did was I did take 2 of my Everglades tomatoes and put them in my elevated bed because right next to like my basil plants to see if that would help. with the hornworms and the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've noticed that my elevated bed might not be deep enough to put tomato plants in because they seem more stunted than the other ones. But also, I moved them, so they might have, slowed down a bit and had to reestablish too. Corn snakes can be confused with copperheads, Tibor said, and he
Mm-hmm.
lived there. You mowed over a snake.
Well, that was the snake on our front porch.
Oh wow. Oh, that looks a lot like one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what did you do? Go and check against the internet to see?
Yeah, later. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
It
that
was it was freaky. And the oh, so last night I'm walking out and I'm
was big.
hearing the chickens and the turkeys and the geese all going crazy. So I'm like, oh, I better go see what's going on because I know we have, predators around,
Yeah.
coyotes and cats and bears and oh my.
Yeah. You guys are gonna need a guardian dog out there.
Yeah, we do need a guardian dog. And so
Big
I
one.
open the door, and right at the door, as I open it, is a toad. And he's standing there right at the door, and he pops up because Norman just runs out and doesn't see him because he's got his cone on. And he had to go to the bathroom. And
Oh.
so it popped up, and that freaked me out. I'm like, oh, because after the snake thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
If you
God.
look at my community tab, I'm surprised, like, my daughter didn't freak out at first, but she didn't. She's so calm. She's just
Yeah,
like her dad, like, so, like, mellow.
right.
Although, they both she has my spiciness. The
Hmm.
little chick with the knife, like the little chicken chick,
Yeah,
it's a pin with the knife, is her. That's her. She looks
yeah.
all cute and fluffy and sweet, and then it's like,
Hmm.
"That's gonna kill you." Um, but she hardly made a sound, and there was this ginormous tree frog stuck to our door at her height. She was
Oh,
like, and she took a picture of it with her hand up to it. Like, she was smart
uh-huh.
enough to, like, it was so cool, but she didn't it was on the other side. Like, if it was on inside, she would have screamed, I'm sure,
Hmm.
or made a sound. "Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob. Good to see
Good to
you,
see
man.
you, Bob. Having a girls' night." Rat snakes buzz their tails as if, yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, and what about, we have the racers that they coil back like they're
Hmm.
a venomous snake to let you know, like, I'm gonna bite you, but they're just afraid.
It's my frog that was on the front.
Yeah, possibly the
A toad. I think it's a toad
I can't
because
tell.
it's not near any water.
Like, can
But
you enlarge it more, maybe? I don't
oh,
know if Homestead's probably dealing with stuff.
mm-hmm,
I've seen him pop up in the side chat in a bit. Okay, what say you, side chat? It looks like a little bit like a toad to me too, but I'm
mm-hmm.
not
It's about
super.
it's about this big.
Okay, I'm not super familiar with the patterns of. Only the ones I know are. Oh, that's a little tree frog too? Really? Did it have the fingers?
No,
Didn't look like it had the
we ha-
fingers
we
before.
have tree frogs out here in the Northwest or the Northwest here in Tennessee. And it definitely isn't a tree
No
frog.
longer in the Northwest, even if your brain is tonight.
I know it is
Like
tonight.
mine is in Mars or outer
It's
space somewhere tonight.
it's in a fog. I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fog. Me too. Like,
Well,
there's a
that
fog.
I just drank up a whole thing like full of coffee so I could be here.
Uh-oh. You know when that's gonna hit you. It's not gonna be now. It's gonna be when you lay down in bed and you're up.
Yeah, that's okay. I got a book to read.
You've got plenty to do. I'm sure. That bobcat would have me looking over. I know. That's what I was thinking. How do you not, like, and especially with Norman, like, that would be really hard.
Right, and to see him in the daytime, that was the thing. It's like
Yeah. Why he's hungry
the
if he's
last the
usually.
last picture that my brother-in-law, he was on my brother-in-law's property,
Ooh,
which is right next door to ours, and he was on his property in the dark, walking around. So
yeah. Yikes. So any kind of, like, big cats scare me. Big wild cats.
he's awful skinny. That's what I was thinking
Oh,
when
he
I saw the
might
picture.
They can get a wasting disease down here. The panthers can. They spotted
Mm.
one of the panthers that they thought might have had it. Hey, Corner
Is it
Josh.
the same kind of, hi Josh, is it the same kind of disease that like the deer get
Yeah,
here?
it's
Yeah.
like a wasting disease for them too. Yeah,
I guess in Kentucky it's pretty bad because they don't
with the
allow
deers.
as much hunting,
Hmm.
yeah, as we do.
Yeah, yeah. People don't understand who don't hunt that's also helpful to the herd.
Mm-hmm.
If you have too many, it can breed disease. Just like how one goat can get a parasite
Mm-hmm.
and drop it out of its droppings, the other goats get it. Like
Right.
same thing with deers. If they get a disease and they're all in a
Mm-hmm.
huge herd, you
Yeah.
don't just lose one or two to hunting, you can lose a whole herd to a disease. So,
Mm-hmm. No, they were just they were reporting it on the news here in Tennessee, and um, that watch
yeah.
for wasting disease.
Yeah, what you said, CR, exactly. It's checks and balances. That's the same thing too with out in California, like how they make this big deal of taking out the trees. You got to take out the trees or the fire burns hotter,
Mm-hmm.
you know? That's
Like in Oregon.
yeah.
I
Like
mean,
let's
they have
save all the
horrible fires
trees.
every year.
Yeah.
So,
Makes
I mean,
yeah, it
that's
does.
why we're thinning ours because we have so much underbrush and so much stuff coming up underneath
Mhm.
that, and then the older trees are breaking and cracking. So let's take them out before they,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and that's some good firewood too. The dry wood like that, right? Or
Hmm.
you can also use it for hugelkultur because it's already breaking
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
growing mushrooms
You know
if it's
what?
the right wood.
And I totally have to do that because I did a semi hugelkultur for last year in these
Yeah.
raised beds, right?
Yep.
Well, I got this super soil this year, thinking, oh, this is going to be it. I don't have time to do the whole hugelkultur thing, because that's a lot of collecting of material and stuff like that. And my husband surprises me and he goes, "Here, hon, I got you some super soil and you can garden and all this stuff." And then everything's turning yellow. And I'm just like, except for the beds that have my old like hugelkultur thing going on, those are all green and healthy
Oh,
and it just,
no.
yeah. So
Is the super soil on top of the hugelkulturs too or no?
no, the super soil's on top of the native soil.
Don't
So,
put it anywhere else. What if it has the stuff in it?
yeah.
Was it tomato plants that went?
No, no. Mm-mm.
What is it that
It's like uh what is it
mm,
affecting? My peppers a little bit and my oh, I cannot think of the name.
I was thinking it was the
Squashes and
immunopyramid
stuff like
too.
that. It's affecting my
It
squashes.
could be blight. Do you know? But you would know blight. Like, is it?
Mm-mm. It's not blight. No.
Yeah,
No.
immunopyralids are striking with those places that sell
No, but
soil.
I'm as I treat it with like blood meal and stuff like that, it greens up. So I
Oh,
just need to
okay.
keep.
So it's just the
I just
soil is
it's just
deficient.
it's
It's deficient. It's not so
nitrogen
super. It's not so
deficient is what
mhm.
it is.
You
Really
should call
bad.
them and say, "Excuse me, it's not so super. Stop stop with the
Yeah,
name, please.
yeah. You need a
Not so
little more
super."
nitrogen. Yeah, so I bought
Nitrogen?
some compost to put on top, compost, and it's got manure in it, and
Oh, that's actually a good question. Was it actually but she said it greened up, so I'm probably not overfeeding it. I almost did that to my tree with blood meal. I couldn't believe it.
right. Nope,
Burned the
not
tree.
overfeeding it.
I know, right? Hey, nutrient deficiency in the super soil.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Sounds like our world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Super. It's the best. Yeah, you can't. I hugelkultured in these beds, and they're just taking off. I have some in the other beds, but I haven't been able to get out there to fill the last one because I have my white beds that my mom got for me for my birthday. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Um, And yeah, I put branches and stuff in there. And I have to
Right.
be careful too because I can't use moringa. Moringa, unless it's super, super dry, it's a Frankenstein plant. It will come
Mm.
back alive, just kind of like the mulberry.
Oh, really?
Berry.
Wow.
Yeah, mulberries are great that way. They are really easy to just stick in soil and grow.
Yeah. That's like blackberry here.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
blackberry coming up in my garden beds, even though I put down tons of cardboard and all kinds of
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
oh no,
I
that's
have a
awful.
blackberry problem.
Okay, people in the side chat, help Laura. How does she solve her blackberry problem?
We do need to put lime down. Um, and yeah, yeah.
Gave my
We're
neighbors.
waiting on lime. We've been waiting on lime for a long time. For like our whole pasture, we were going to put in pasture grass, and we've been waiting for lime. So we put in cow peas and for to cover our grounds, and
Uh-huh.
we did a topical lime. So
Yeah, the alfalfa is a great idea. Green Country. I know I was reading another book about the alfalfa. It was the Green Wizard's book,
hmm
and he is a real big proponent of alfalfa for
yeah,
nitrogen, fertilizer, and ground cover. Yeah, I need to get some alfalfa.
we'll probably put some of that in our mix for when we plant our pasture grass.
Oh, Kaylin, I should have done the thing on here. I have your seeds out there that you sent me. I haven't opened it. I'm trying to like wait, and I keep going and I put it aside and then I forget because I'm such a ding dong.
So
She
what's
said
what's the
we're on
challenge you guys are doing?
the secret seed challenge in the gardening challenge community.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we exchange seeds and yeah, she's got some for me. Did any of those come up yet, Kaylin? The secret seed? Because they really need warm soil, so I'm wondering if it's like by the time it comes up, you're gonna get cold weather again. Yeah, growing microgreens for your animals. Hmm. I've heard about doing it like and juicing it for yourself. I've heard there's a guy that was actually on YouTube who was doing broccoli greens and he helped, besides other, nutritional things, it helped him clear the big C, not the
Mm.
one that we got stuck inside for, but the other one that starts CA.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is for entertainment purposes, but yeah, it was broccoli microgreens. Yeah. Thinking about
We
transplant.
have so much blackberry. There's no transplanting it. we it's coming up everywhere because our soil is very acidy. We also have wild grapes coming up and wild strawberries.
Yeah, then 1 cup of radish microgreens is the same. That's 19 radishes. That's wow. Same nutrients. That's pretty wild. I love that's the one that I like. I actually bought microgreens to do radishes.
That's awesome, Hugo. I want to do some elderberry out here
Me
too.
too. I don't know how well, my blueberries, I found out I think I'm just out of luck. Looks
I
like
got to
most.
do some blueberries out here because they'll do great in my
Yes.
acidy soil.
Yes, they will love it.
hmm
So would well, no, I don't know if you would have to bring in. I was just thinking the jaboticaba I have loves acid soil, but you can't do that. You'd have to bring it in the winter. It's because it's a rainforest tree. It's the one
hmm
that it grows like the cherries, the fruit right on the tree itself.
Oh wow.
It's really wild looking when they get huge. It's just they're dark. Well, they can also be red, but like dark black all the way up. Actually,
Oh wow.
I should get
That's
a picture.
cool.
Yeah, it's Jaboticaba sabra is the variety that has the darker ones. Um, it's actually Flying Fox Farms. He sells his trees, and they go like for quite a bit of money on eBay.
Mm.
But he's the one where I found
Hey,
out
Duncan.
about. the soil. Hey, Duncan. Let me see if I can bring it up. That's not really great. They have better pictures. I'm trying to find a really good picture. Yeah, that is not. I also want to get a low quat. They did really well for my dad, but my dad had one that was really for landscape. Oh, here's a good one. Let me see. Yeah, they call it also the Brazilian grape tree. Let me now come back, find a share button, see if I can do it.
My tomatoes are doing great, but I planted them my special way with my special ingredients when I plant them. Special. I share it.
I'll have to go watch it. I don't know if I did watch that one. I can never remember sometimes which ones I've watched from people because we watch, each other's stuff, and then I forget if I've watched it. That's a Jabota Cabo Sabra.
Oh, weird.
Right?
It looks like it's got like
I know some
growths
kind
on
of
it or something.
it's got tasty warts. Tasty tree warts. But yeah, they're really tasty. They're kind of like a muscadine grape. I think it's like more of a thinner crust, thinner crust, thinner skin.
Skin?
Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? Okay, so AC Scratchmaster is also you? Oh no, you're in Massachusetts, Scratchmaster. So Scratchmaster, where did we meet up? Was it in
Monkeypox,
Penn?
yes. Nice to meet you, Scratchmaster.
Up here in Massachusetts? That's crazy. Yeah, it looks like monkeypox. Nice. I better be careful saying that. That's all those words. They are strange little trees, aren't they? Green country. Mine was miniaturized by somebody who wanted to make it a bonsai. But I bought it anyway.
Wow.
Because I wanted a small tree because I also need that book that's about growing fruit trees, but you grow a little fruit tree and it's all about just cutting them a certain way.
I need
to keep
that book too.
Yeah, I need that book.
Because
But yeah, I thank you, Green Country, for answering Huga's question about mulberry, because there's so many mulberries. I wasn't sure if there was a grand rule that rules them all as far as sunlight. I have the everbearing. I want to get the Thai, but I think it might be really similar. And I definitely want to get the Rachel mulberry, which is, did you ever hear that story of David the Good and his wife Rachel as kids used to eat from this one big mulberry down in Broward County. And a guy has it. He has, I don't know if it was Green Country. Do you remember how he got a hold of that mulberry? I don't know how he did, if he lived in the same area and just got a cutting or what he did, but he has it. And then he was making tons and tons of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but the only problem is you have to travel through Florida where his nursery is. He's not shipping them yet. Yes, they are very forgiving.
I just planted 4 apple trees.
Oh, I'm so jealous. We have, I think, the Anna apple. DTG said it's not that great, though. But anyway, so that tree is named after his wife, who was, his friend when they were younger.
Yeah.
Rachel mulberry. But it's called the Rachel Goodman mulberry. And I think it's called Scrubland Farms has it. Yeah, and it's funny because I went looking for it because that's another thing, if you guys watch David the Good, pray for him and his family because his niece, they found her just dead, little girl. I think it was 18 months. No cold, no nothing, just went to bed normal, didn't wake up. So poor mama. That's his sister's daughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely be praying for the Goods.
Yeah.
You're cloning. Now, see, that always confuses me. What is cloning compared to propagating?
Yeah, I don't know how to clone trees.
I know how to propagate
I,
a mulberry because they're
yeah,
one of the easiest ones, but I don't understand the difference. Was it sudden infant? Yeah, I was wondering if that's what it would end up being. It's horrible. Yeah, like they just can't explain it. They just pass like horrible.
that's awesome, Hugo.
Oh, nice. 5 apple trees. That's why I was sucking on a cough drop before. My throat
Yeah,
was so.
I wanna start planting all kinds of fruit trees, but I got bigger ones. I got like 3-year-old trees, so they're not like babies.
Oh, rooted cuttings. So my cuttings now are clones that I've rooted.
Yep.
Ooh, I can tell people I have cloned my tree. Ooh,
Hmm.
use a fancy word. That's awesome. Your place is gonna be amazing once everything is just kicking. It's gonna be so beautiful.
Yep, we finally got our water heater fixed. We had tried two
Bob,
different.
I didn't know you were still here. I'm sorry. I had the link in the side chat. Sorry, Bob. If you want to go the Vera though, or Verna, I mean, I understand. I know you
Yeah.
love your Verna. Gardon.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact feeling last
He
weekend
does.
during the long holiday weekend. What am I missing? Genetic copies of the original. Oh, nice, AC. You have 2 apricots. I was looking at apricots the other night. Oh, I love nectarines.
I might clone my. I have a wild dogwood tree, and I want more dogwoods, so I might clone those trees.
For a moment, you're going to go over, or do you want the link, Bob? I don't understand. Oh,
Well,
gosh.
I hear
Bob.
you, Duncan. I've been watering mine like crazy. We don't have a lot of water, so it's kind of
Yeah, that's where I'm grateful. We've definitely had enough rain for my trees.
yeah.
Definitely had rain, like,
No,
every day.
we we had rain yesterday, but it was like brief. It was a
Mhm.
downpour, but it was brief, and it's like the ground's dry already, and it's
Yeah.
like no.
AC was saying, like, they're super hot. He was hot his weather was, like, it was way hotter than here, and then they're in drought. They haven't had rain.
Well, we're like in the 90s, which is
That's high there too, right? For
yeah,
right now? Early June?
yeah. But it's been pretty warm even in May, in the end of May. So I got my
Oh,
can.
I've never done that green country. I wondered if you could cure them or not, but I just stuck them in the ground. I just stick them in some soil. I'm real technical about it. I take a cutting off that I don't want there anymore, and I just stick it in the soil and turn it
Is
into a
that
tree. If it
I
works, it
got
works.
some
That's what
wild
it
roses here
does.
that
Oh,
I'm
how
trying
pretty.
to get some root growth on. I don't know if I want to stick them in soil, but I'm just put them in water for now and see what
I
happens.
wonder if that banana technique really works. Have you seen that?
Potato works,
Okay.
especially with roses, so maybe I should try the potato.
It's supposed to hit 90 there. Kaylin, oh my. Yeah, we've had rain off and on. I like a long, light rain. CR. That's like dreamy. No,
Yeah,
I didn't know if you wanted it or if you were going to see Verna.
it's going to be 90 here all
I
weekend.
was confused, Bob.
We're
Hey,
usually
what's up? How you doing? YouTube police who I didn't realize I knew. Hold on.
Do you know the YouTube police?
Yeah, I do know the YouTube police.
Mm.
I do.
Do I know the YouTube police?
You do.
I do.
He
Okay.
used to go by. Well, I think he still has his other channel too.
Mm.
It would hang with Devil Dog. Him and Devil Dog had
Oh, okay.
good cop,
Yep.
bad dog.
Yeah. I know him. I do. I do. I do.
I didn't know if you wanted me to say out loud YouTube police.
Belt loop. There's Bob.
Hello.
Long time no see. Hi,
I was
Bob.
just happy because I
Hey.
had my girl again to hang out with. Our Laura.
I always stop in and send her my regards every time. You know,
Aw. How you doing, Bob?
not
What's up?
bad. Mm. Mm.
How's
Hey,
it in
what's up?
Washington?
Beautiful weather right now. We've had the last few days. It's been nice and warm.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Yeah, like
How's
go
the
outside.
rhubarb doing?
Oh yeah, the one got eaten alive by earwigs, and there's
Oh,
another one that's
ooh.
getting eaten alive by, I'm sure, the same thing because they came from the same nursery.
Mm.
Oh no. So the
but
seeds were probably, I mean, the eggs were probably down in the soil.
I'm sure they were because the one that I ripped the last leaf off of it, while I was cutting the grass, I just went, well, this thing's dead. So I ripped the last leaf off of it, and it just started pouring out thousands of earwigs from
Oh.
the
Ew.
root. The
Wow.
root is hollow. They're inside the root,
Mhm.
and they're eating it from the inside out. I ran it over a couple of times with the mower to try and kill them, but I
Night
poured a
Green
bunch of
Country.
vinegar.
Thank you for
Poured,
coming in.
poured
Yeah,
a
the
bunch
vinegar.
of on it today. So I think
I'm
the other
sorry, Bob.
one on the other side of the lawn, I'll just do the same thing, just kill it,
Oh,
you know.
oh, I'm so sorry.
But the one out in the front yard's doing bingo.
I'm doing great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's doing great. Yeah.
My hydrangeas are dying because I couldn't get them deep enough in the soil, so I just bought some of those.
Mhm.
They're like little digging blades, like you know,
Mhm.
like you put on your drill, and they're long
Mhm.
for gardening.
Mhm.
I'm like, I need these here in Tennessee.
Oh,
They
an auger?
yeah,
Yeah, I love my
yeah,
auger.
and they're
Sorry.
different sizes. You know,
Yes,
it's
they're
so
wonderful.
hard here. I have never had a problem. You know, I
Yeah,
was
your
just like,
soil looks really compacted because it's
it
clay,
is,
right?
yeah,
Clay based.
yeah.
Oh wow,
It's
that's a
really
bummer.
bad. So it's like my brother-in-law had to come with a special. I mean, we needed a special auger just to get the trees in, and just crazy. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't plant anything here.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Ours
take
is
some
like,
time.
yeah,
Mhm.
well,
Build the
it'll take-
soil up. Yeah.
Yep.
definitely. What's that?
Hey,
Does it-
Ginger. Trying to get some animals out here. My husband's like, just hold off, hold off.
Yeah, just wait a little longer. But that will turn the soil around right away there.
Mhm.
It sure helps.
Manure.
Yeah. Hmm.
But
The
you know,
manure
with
and-
all the blackberry here, we need to get rid of that stuff first, or
Oh,
Yeah, she
that
knows,
stuff
Sierra.
is so intrusive.
Biomass. She knows.
yeah.
Is it the same Himalayan blackberries that we have out here in Washington, Oregon?
Mhm.
So, oh no, God, I'm sorry to hear that. Those things are a monster.
Mhm. Yep. They're everywhere. They're really bad.
Yeah, I might do a little bit of a garden walk video, but
Yeah.
I bought some pea starts months ago, and then they climbed up the trellis a little ways, the ones that I made out of
Mm-hmm.
tree branches, and we've gotten a few handfuls of peas off of them. The
Nice.
plants are kind of yellow, but you know,
Mm.
I got a couple of handfuls and brought them into Mrs. and she threw them into some soup she was making. That was like
Yeah.
a real
Mhm.
treat.
Sounds like they
And
need a little fish emulsion or something.
Yeah, fish
something,
the
yeah.
511. Yeah,
Mhm.
511. Or even just keep putting some coffee grounds out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got lots of that.
Your used ones. Your
Mhm.
used coffee grounds.
Okay.
That gives
Yeah,
it
I
a
got
little
lots of
nitrogen.
that. But,
Yeah. Good
well,
stuff.
our strawberries, they're all planted in pots, and every morning Mrs. goes out there and grabs them.
Oh, they're doing that good. Oh, good.
Yeah, they're growing, and this morning I woke up and she had three or four nice ripe strawberries sitting right there in front of my chair where I eat breakfast. So I'm like, yeah, all right. She goes, those are for you, hon. I ate a couple of them, but I gave those to you. Right on.
Isn't it cool
if
getting
they're
things out of your
used,
backyard to eat?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it is. It is nice. It is nice.
Yeah, it is nice to go to pick from your own yard. That's how
Mhm.
I feel with the mulberries when I go out there. It's relaxing too.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of, it's like a deep satisfaction when you get to pick food from your own yard.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it is. Mhm.
Especially like at the end of the day when it's nice and just calm and it's a little cooler from the sun. I like that part of the day,
Yeah.
right before dusk.
Yeah,
At
that's
least
where
here.
I was most of the evening, was just sitting out there. My wife got me this speaker thing for my birthday. I can play music on it, one of these speakers that she got.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
So I just put on my YouTube music playlist and sit out there and smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and, real
Nice.
healthy things,
Yeah.
Mm.
It's okay, Doc. I'm
It's not
sitting
for the plant,
outside and
Kudrick, it's
getting
for
oxygen
soil.
while I
Mhm.
smoke my cigarettes.
Yep.
It's to work into the soil. It's just like CR was saying, it's part of biomass,
Mm-hmm.
the coffee
Yeah.
grounds. Yeah, you don't want to dump a ton of it, but the soil's not going to do well if you don't use it first.
Mhm.
Because you want to use it first because it can
Mhm.
sometimes backfire, and yes, it'll be more acidic, but it can also take away a nitrogen from what I've heard from people who have used it. Yeah, you can just broadcast it. You're not piling it on.
Right.
No, we don't use some aluminum sulfate right off the bat. No. Or garden sulfur. You can use that, absolutely, but what you can use also pine mulch, which has acid in it, because you want to enrich your soil. You're going to use those chemicals. You're going to have to use them over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make the soil enriched and give life to the soil.
Right.
But yeah, those will work, but
Mhm.
I don't ever recommend those right off the bat unless you're like in dire need and you've got to save something. But it's everybody's personal choice.
Right.
Everybody's personal choice. But for my channel, it's like try pine, try other means of making it a little more acidic.
Yeah, as the time goes on, the potting soil, I'll make it stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
It'll work.
I was
Yep,
so
you'll
excited.
make it.
I was cleaning out my chicken, stuff under my chicken bed, my little, getting the pine mix off the bottom and like putting them in a clean one and putting new pine shavings underneath them. I'm like, oh, this is so gross with all the urine in there and all the poo, but it's going in the compost, and I'm like, yay!
It's going to take some
Yeah.
time. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had what Hugot has is oh no, did I just close everybody out?
No,
Okay.
I'm still here.
It closed everything on my computer.
Oh, we're here.
What the heck? It's saying there's a password request.
Huh?
Yeah, no, I don't.
That's
I
odd.
don't. Yeah, right in the middle of this. It's very odd.
Mm-hmm.
Very odd.
Yeah.
It's been an odd night. That's why I named it. Been an odd day.
Yeah.
Soil needs, yes, it does, Duncan. It needs lasting nutrients. The other ones will just, yes, exactly. A pH tester helps. There's also ways to do testing with that with water to see what type of soil you have too, like what floats and what sinks. And
Well, when we tested our soil, it's like 80% clay. And then
thank
was
you.
it like, and then the rest of it is like sand, and then with a tiny, tiny bit of topsoil and organic matter on top. So it was very, very poor,
Oh, wow.
and it's like a 5 point something. I forget the exact number, but there's just very, very little topsoil. So
So you're gonna
because
need
it just
probably
washes
you're gonna
away.
have to cover crop it. Didn't you guys start to do that? You were
Yeah.
starting to do the
All
cover
our
crop,
we've got cowpeas is cover
the
crop right
cowpeas.
now
Right on.
Okay.
Right on.
to bring in some some nutrients and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then in the fall we'll plant our grasses.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, YouTube police, you can send it for your soil sample to the local extension.
Oh
to
yeah,
get-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah, to get it tested, to know what you need.
So
the
I mean,
nutrients.
David the Good says when I was talking to him about it, he says organic matter, organic matter, organic
Yeah.
matter, organic
Yep.
matter.
Mhm.
Just keep
Work it
on
into
piling
the
it up.
soil, organic, yeah, or layer it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Depends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this,
definitely chop and drop, of course. Unless it's
Yeah.
right now I'm
mulberry
laying down
or
cardboard
blackberry.
in the garden area,
Mm-hmm.
even though I have garden beds, and then I'm just gonna like in the fall just start leaves and all kinds
Yeah.
of Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know Howie said about using the tarps too, to you use the sun's energy and heat to kill off
Mhm.
like your maybe blackberries. That might help a little bit. I don't know. Not sure. But it is definitely for any of your weeds. It
Right.
helps prep the soil to solarize it.
Mhm.
That's what to do the tarps. But I wanted to do that in an area and I just ended up covering the area and it's like the worst sandy soil in the back. So I'm going to use the landscape fabric and actually plant watermelons in like a 5-gallon. So the roots are in the good soil and then they just trail off on top of the fabric
Right.
and I don't have to worry about regenerating that yet because
Right.
I don't have the money to regenerate all that right now and I don't have the biomass like
Right.
I'd like to. I have the bananas. Like I can use some of that, but I want something growing like immediately.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm gonna try that.
I mean, that's why we did the super soil, right? Because we
Yeah.
wanted something growing immediately, and we didn't have enough space, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
You can do tilling or no tilling. It depends. Some people don't do no till. I can't do like no till. If I can use wood chips, but I cannot deal with all the bugs down here with the wood chips so much. So what I'll use it for is really pathways, and I have to be careful with the mulch that I put on top. Even light mulch will form like a crust sometimes on my soil.
We
It'll
have
like all
tilled and disked our pastures, not
yeah.
our garden area. We have raised beds in our garden area, but the pasture we've
Mhm.
tilled and disked just because it's to get the peas and the stuff out there and to
Yeah.
get the life of the
Yeah,
Yeah.
to get the
Mrs.
biomass
is
in there.
Mrs. is home. Thanks for having me come up
Okay,
and like,
sure.
go visit with her. All
Bye,
right.
Bob.
Peace out, guys.
Okay,
Bye
bye,
bye.
Bob.
Good seeing
Nice
you.
seeing you. Good to see you. I feel bad. I didn't mean like it's a girls' night only. I just meant I'm having some girl time. Yay. High nitrogen fresh chips. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We actually have a bunch of chips from them harvesting trees and stuff, and we're going to bring those over and put them under our chickens and our ducks and geese and all that in that area. And so they'll lay their little adage to that, and we'll add
Yeah.
that to the garden too.
Yeah, no, I know YouTube police. It's not. I know the no-till isn't necessarily wood chips. That's the back to Eden method. That's
Yeah.
one of the ones. That's one that's a no-till. And then there's compost using just layers and layers of compost and the guy out of England, I can't think of his name. I'm Britain. I can
Yeah.
see him in my mind's eye. I cannot.
Right, me too. He puts down cardboard, a couple layers of cardboard, and then adds compost.
And he hot composts in his greenhouse, his beautiful greenhouse. I love that glass. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Charles
I know
Downing.
exactly who you're talking about.
Charles Downing, or is it Downing?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Downing.
Charles Downing or Downing? I don't know. Is that right?
I say
Now
Downing.
I'm like, now I need to look it up and see. But yeah, he uses a different method. Ruth's Dow, I think, doesn't she use like a straw method? There's all different methods to do no-till. But I'm just saying down here, the wood chips bring tons and tons of bugs. Oh,
I think they do everywhere, like slugs. They bring
Yeah, it's
more
doubting,
like
Charles
slugs.
doubting. Yeah, the slugs. Yeah, I'm gonna lay out. That's what I'm gonna do with my Budweiser beer. Is gonna drown
Mhm.
slugs and snails. That's
Works
what it's
so
good.
good.
Yep.
And then you can add that to your compost too. That's what I used to do.
That's cool, YouTube police. I didn't know you were a master gardener. That's awesome. Did you finish it? Did you do your? Because that's the big thing. I want to take it, but I don't have the hours around here to do the volunteering. I can't do the volunteering right now.
I want to go volunteer. There's a Firefly Farms
Yeah.
here in Tennessee, and they're really good. They do a lot of organic, and just their vegetables. I was on their farm, and they were. That's where I saw that they were showing. They did a demonstration on
Yeah.
the difference between cover crops and just covering your crop, like with organic matter.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and with the harsh rains that we have here in Tennessee, and they were saying if you don't put a cover crop on it, that the rain just goes through the soil, you know. And they showed like no, just
True.
bare ground,
Yeah.
covering a crop, and then a cover crop. And
Got it.
the cover crop saved most of the water in the soil, and where it was just covered, like layers of compost or something, or wood chips on it or something like that. They had corn husks on it. It went through and it didn't save the water, but it didn't wash the topsoil away. So that's the good thing about that.
Yeah.
But if you don't put anything on it, it just washes the topsoil away here in Tennessee.
Yeah. So you're to do a living cover crop at the same time that you're putting your crop in? You can do?
You can do what they actually recommend when you put in crops nowadays is that you plant your seed within, like, if you do a cover crop, and then at the end of the season you knock that cover crop down, you just fold it down, and then you plant within that.
Okay, so it becomes your mulch. It's no longer really living, it's breaking down and feeding your plants too at the same time. Cool. I like that
And it's
idea.
keeping that root base in there, which is, allows that water to go within the soil and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hear you too. I don't have that's my problem too. But I should just take the course.
I do want some red clover, yes. We're going to do probably red clover. We were thinking about rye, but we're thinking of a few things because we're thinking of cattle. So
There we go. Yeah, I've heard that too. And also I've heard that about people sometimes who have used rabbit manure. The seeds have come through the rabbit manure and they've had to deal with that. So that is one thing that kind of makes me a little bit nervous about it. Like it happened to my friend in Ohio. Like it wasn't just a hearsay moment. She said she used her rabbit's pellets and it ended up, I guess the Timothy hay sprouted in her all over her vegetable
yeah,
bed.
you just gotta you do have to watch that with rabbits.
Yeah.
So you got to feed your rabbits organic stuff, not. I never had a problem with it with my rabbits that I had in Oregon, and because I gave them good hay.
Yeah.
But some of the seeds come through, but you just pluck them out.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You can do aeration with the organic matter will create aeration in the soil, but also you can do that with planting root crops and aerate your soil. CR. Yeah. It's important to break it apart.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty. Yeah, that's smart, Duncan. Let me put that up. I forgot I had that little button to put these up. Nice.
Yeah. I really want some red clover. It's so gorgeous.
Hmm.
It's more like a purpley red.
Yeah, I've seen
And
it. I think in Pennsylvania they have a like a rolling
yeah,
clover.
Firefly Farms does a mix of red clover, rye, and something else. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then they plant right in that. And it's just like, wow, they've just got the most beautiful um, plants there. And I'm like, can I come here and learn with you guys?
Oh
So,
yeah, YouTube. Lead Farmer does that. He did that. He did a whole video on those growing in them, the mixing, the big black tubs that you mix cement in.
hmm
Yeah, he did that. Can use them for a lot of things. They're great tubs.
hmm
Great size tub. Yeah, that will be pretty, Laura. Oh, he said it's popular there too in Ohio. Yeah, it's popular in PA.
hmm
It's really pretty. Oh, he's got purple clover growing wild. The bees
Oh
love it.
wow,
Okay, there you go.
we don't have any clover here. No, what we get growing here is just broom sage, and so we knock that down, or we cut it and then Chris did all that work, and
Mhm.
so
Yeah. Bella, I didn't I'm glad I learned that about you tonight. I didn't know that about you and your wife, about the master gardener stuff. That's cool.
that is cool.
That's very cool. That's actually what I want to do. And Glenn even sent me some of the stuff about how to find the courses and everything. And I even talked to our extension that's closer to us, and
hmm
she said I might be able to do my hours here within my own neighborhood because it's an HOA.
hmm
Um, I might be able to do it, volunteer hours here. I
Hmm.
don't know how. I don't know what they would consider okay. Because I asked them if YouTube counted as volunteer because I'm teaching a little bit on
hmm
YouTube, and it's like I don't think so. I'm like they need to like
So what goes into a
update the program.
master garden designation, or is it like a
It's just
certificate?
you're taking courses and then you're putting in the work afterwards. You're volunteering and reteaching what you've learned kind of to
Mm-hmm.
people, you
Okay.
know, to other people. And usually what places will do, like the extension, is they will use the Master Gardener program and get volunteers into their gardens to help
Mm.
them. So hands-on learning. But you're
Yeah.
also making connections too with other plant people
Yeah.
that are
Which
local,
is
which
awesome.
yeah, that would be so good.
Yeah. No, I'd love to do that. I just want to learn. My thing is learning how to
Yeah.
grow here in Tennessee because it's so different than
Yeah. Yeah, about
Oregon.
the weekend. I mean, YouTube police, sorry. Oh shoot. It's gonna reload. Please don't reload. Okay. I went to save it and oh, almost made the window disappear. Telling you, it's just so crazy tonight. Here, let me. There you go.
Same
YouTube
difference.
police. Yes, you may come up. Oh wow, Tibor, that's awful. 107 over the blacktop.
Wow.
Hello, sir.
Oh,
Hello.
let me mute my thing. What's up,
And
Laura?
I wasn't anybody in the side chat. I'm not meaning to be mean. I'm just like like the brain is just all over the place tonight.
I
No,
think
So
I
you're doing
mean,
fine.
I took
sassy.
the courses, I guess, about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Tammy's been a master gardener for about 10 years. Though she's been growing, gardening flowers and, herbs and all this kind of stuff for longer than we've been married. In fact, I'm ashamed to say it, but when we were young and stupid and we
Hmm.
fought all the time, You know, I once took a pair of scissors to cut up every plant she had in the house just to be
Oh,
me. I didn't,
Oh,
hey,
that is really
she
mean.
took my keys. Well, we were young and stupid at that
Yeah,
time. We
yeah.
had just got married.
Oh, yeah. Those are the
We
young and
celebrate
stupid.
our 35th anniversary this year.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
it's not like it was yesterday. I
No, yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm a different
Yeah,
person
no.
than I used to be.
Yeah.
But
28 years ago, we were young and stupid too. So
Yeah.
this November will be 28. So yeah. Hey, okay.
congratulations.
Thank you. You too.
The
Godspeed.
I mean, it is true that I never planted a thing before
Thank
2020.
you.
Um, I never planted a thing before 2020, and but I have a tendency to be very obsessive and compulsive about things, and
Me too.
so when it came to, uh, I think it's important to understand what my motivation was. The uh, the fact is that my brothers both have their own businesses, and when the Kofifi thing hit, and I don't know if
Mhm.
we're still calling it that or something, or we're actually able to say it now, but
I don't think we can still say it on here.
well, anyhow, when that hit, I found out from my brother in that was at the time in Kentucky that
Yeah.
my brother that was just down the road hadn't had a job in a month or two for his work. And so that kind of concerned me. So I had laid up some stores here. So I loaded them up, some of them a truckload, and took them over to my brother's house. Then that was at 2 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep that night, so I got up early the next day and went and got some more stuff for him, and went and took that over to him along with a gift card or two, so he could have at least nothing, if nothing else, food in the house. After
Hmm.
Yeah.
all, he had 5 kids at his house, and me and Tammy ain't never had no kids, so
Yeah.
we weren't struggling. But I knew I couldn't keep, I couldn't feed. I didn't think I could feed 5 kids, all
Mm.
the time. So I decided it's best to get, the great toilet paper fiasco.
I
I
like
agree,
that one. I want to use that
Yeah.
very.
but I knew I couldn't always, be buying all these canned goods and what have you. But I knew I had the time. At the time, I had time to garden. I had time to grow things. I had time to
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. We all did. Yep.
and so I started studying and started growing things. I've planted things in raised beds. I've planted no-till gardening. I hadn't done the back to Eden method, but I have done the Ruth Stout method. I've planted tilled, traditional tilling method. I've planted in containers. I've planted in just about every way you can imagine it. I've done it. Um, I've planted fruit trees. I've got 30 or so trees over at my mom and daddy's. Red Dragon China Cooties.
I like the
Oh,
China cuties. I don't know if we can even say that name. China.
I like that.
China. Oh,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
I
that
like
is
the way
funny.
But
I like
my
the way
wife,
Harry 45 says it.
in fact, my wife, it's funny. My wife has been a master gardener for about 10 years.
Yeah,
She wasn't always able to donate the hours
it's really great.
as far
Really.
as being there helping with the different, but
I would try.
something that some of them will be willing to do, at least they did it down here for her,
Uh-huh.
is they allowed her to work on the advertising and work with the, you
Oh,
know, go
like on the
through.
computer
And
and stuff?
so sometimes you just have to be a little creative
Yeah.
with,
Hmm.
Well,
you
that's
know,
what I thought it was being when I said, "Hey, I can teach on my YouTube channel." I have a
yeah,
YouTube channel. So, and that still might fly if I talk to the people that are really running it. Those were students that I talked to
Yeah.
yeah.
because they
But
need to update the program in this day of technology.
well, here in Mississippi, they actually did. I was the very first person in the state to go through the course 100% online.
Mhm.
And so now it is available, at least in Mississippi, it is available 100% of the classes you can go online and go to. I don't know if that's, what states are available, but, um, when I signed up for it, I just thought it was something else me and Tammy could do together. Tammy, at one point or another, has expressed some uh, unhappiness with the fact that I know about as much as she does.
Mm.
Um, she has gone through and she'd say something to me, and I'd say, "Well, really it's this way. And she'd sit there and get mad at me because she'd look it up and I was right. But, you
Mm.
know, now that's not to say she knows a lot about different things that I do that I don't.
Yeah, and you just went through the course, so it's fresher for you too.
Well, part of it was also my studying, but because I studied, I knew a lot of the stuff on the courses before I went through it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the courses are so extensive about so many different things because they cover some stuff that I had not come across. They covered some different areas that I was not familiar with, and
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it was a learning experience. But Tammy, most of her gardening, a lot of her gardening, she deals with herbs,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
I don't care that much about herbs as much
She
as I
doesn't
do.
grow vegetables. She's mostly what, like an herbologist?
Yeah, something like that. Well, she grows, she probably got 10 different kinds of mint out there. She's got,
Mm, okay.
things like, what is that? I don't know. In
Does
fact,
she grow like medicinals or does she grow like for teas and stuff or
well, she doesn't, I don't know that, I couldn't begin to tell you what all she's growing out there. I did have a contest one time that was a giveaway. The first giveaway I
Mhm.
ever did. Not that I've done much at giveaways, but my first giveaway was name that plant contest. And
Mm.
just went through and showed all these different plants that Tammy was growing, and said if you could name the different types of plants, whoever could name the most would get the prize or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And not too many people took that too seriously. They only had 3 or 4 real competitors in it, and
Yeah.
the
So
You have to have a good memory for that
did it
too.
cost money to go through the program?
it did. It was like 100, and I think it was around $125
Mm.
Oh,
to
was
go
okay, yeah,
through it.
I know
Now,
mine.
supposedly that's for the book, but the fact is, since my father's gone through the program, my wife's gone through the program. It ain't like I couldn't have grabbed a book from one of them, but you know, yeah, each person has to have their own book.
Thank you,
So,
Tibor.
Yeah.
you know, that's what I did. And it was very informative. And there's still some things I can refer back to because,
Okay.
um,
So you would
it's
recommend it. You would recommend it for anybody who wants to get into
well,
gardening.
if you want to grow stuff and you want to understand some
Mhm.
things. Now, there's a lot of good information just on YouTube.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
you can find out a lot of stuff, but some of the stuff they cover in there, unless you know to go look for certain, and even then, some of the information they cover isn't necessarily readily available. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily see it right off the bat.
Mhm.
That the some of the stuff is like on fruit trees and what have you, because we went through and I've planted over at mom and daddy's pawpaw trees, apple
Mhm.
trees,
Mm.
nectarine trees, peach trees, plum trees, pecan trees. We've got over there, we've got muscadines, we got grapes, we got blackberries, we got blueberries, we got, there's a lot of stuff in the ground over there.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
two,
Sounds like you got a good assortment. That's nice. I
well,
would love a pawpaw, but we have mangoes is like supposed to be our kind of equivalent.
that's cool.
Um, yeah.
The pawpaws,
It's
some very
different. It
interesting.
has banana in it, right? Like a banana note to
Well,
it.
it's very banana like consistency, but the flavor, from what I'm told, I have never tasted one. Um, it is native to North America. It's
Yeah.
consistently it's like a banana, but it's taste is supposedly on some of them anyhow. It's supposed to have a mango taste to it.
Yeah. That's what I
Um,
always heard, that it's like the mango of the North, just
Huh.
the
you know,
tropical fruit of the North.
Pawpaw, huh?
well, it
Mhm.
is related to the. I think the technical term for it is Asamina triloba, but it is native to North America. Goes all the way up the east coast up into Canada.
Mm.
It is related to the tropical trees, and it is actually you don't use bees to pollinate it. It's pollinated by flies, which is kind of interesting. Some people
Yeah.
take roadkill and nail it out on
Mhm.
the tree to
Mhm.
help attract
Or
flies.
you just plant it over by the chicken coop.
There you go. Yeah. Or if you have horse barn, plant it by the horse barn.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
Lots of
bad
positives.
idea, I reckon. Well,
Yeah.
it will grow in shade, which is kind of rare for a lot of trees. But for its best production, you want full sunlight. Now, some people will go through and plant it in a sunny spot and then turn around and let's see. I always place it too.
Oh, I love it.
Robert says pawpaws are delicious. That's
Yeah.
good to
I
know.
love that you've been in the garden ever since you could sit up, Duncan.
Hey,
That is
That's
awesome.
awesome.
a lot of times that's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
In fact, I just put up on my gardening channel, Belt Loop 29 Gardening. I just put up a well, my Aunt Sue's garden, and she was raised that way. You know, she was in the garden since she was a kid, and a lot of the things that I know kind of run contrary to the way she was raised. So we just kind of, but we tended to lean on
Yeah.
her and Uncle Roger's way of doing things, especially
Mhm.
when we were doing the traditional till method. Um,
Mhm.
but some of the prettiest tomatoes that we had back in 2020 was from the no-till garden, and
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of weird because I just put cardboard down, took
Yeah.
some what was it, gin trash, I guess, and put that on top of the cardboard, and then turned around and just put the plant. We got starch that year, and so we just kind of formed it around the plant, and those did very well. Never really got watered. Um, that was just from rain, and of
Mm-hmm.
course it was down near the lake, so you know there's a chance that the moisture.
Wait, which plant was this? I'm sorry that you
Oh,
were saying.
that was with the
Like the
garden. That
whole
was
garden only got rain?
yeah,
Okay. I'm sorry.
and
So,
yeah,
what is root stout?
Yeah, you
Ruth
mentioned it.
Ruth Stout
Ruth Stout's method.
is a method of no-till gardening. She was a lady from in the like 1940s, 50s. That,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, you could seriously, you should be able to just um,
But what
you
was her
know
method? Was
Google.
it the
Well,
straw?
what she would do is she would just go through and literally, if it's like she'd throw down hay.
It was hay.
She,
So I
you know,
thought that's her method was the
yeah,
hay.
and
Mhm.
she would go through and with her, she just throw like stuff out there. She figured if nature, well, stuff grows in nature all the time,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and so it kind of takes care of its own. Now,
Mhm.
somebody was mentioning, I think Tibor was saying something about having weeds, but the truth is, when you're using a Ruth Stout method, typically it's going to kill most of the weeds. You'll have a few things pop up, but usually
Yeah.
the roots are not real deep and they're easy to pull out. But if you're going to weed anyhow, you
Yeah.
know, because ain't no. In fact, I got a friend of mine.
There's a lady on here who does it. Her name's I think it's Marge Gamble. It's a different name, and she does the Ruth Stout method, and you can see that
Yeah,
it's just beautiful. Her garden's gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, like what you said, it suffocates the weeds because you're putting that down a lot. You're going around
that's
and
right.
remulching with
Right.
the hay on a regular basis and
Now,
throwing it
another
back.
channel you could look at that does, I think he does some back to Eden stuff as well as Ruth Stout. His whole thing is just, is just deep mulch. And I think
Yeah.
he uses whatever is available.
Do
And
you know what state he's
uh,
in?
he's in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And his channel name is Waylon Smalley.
Okay.
This I'll put it his channel link in.
And he does
Right.
both methods. Okay.
And I
Nice.
started following him a while back. And he's got a thing where he'll show off your garden as well on Saturdays. I think it's Saturdays he does that.
Oh, nice.
And here's a link to his channel. But he's good people, and you can talk to him. So
Oh,
anyhow,
I'll do it. Thank
but
you.
his focus is, and I think that the way of doing that is actually a very good way of doing things. Um, but he's in Oklahoma. I just
Okay.
wanted to hop up and say, hey, you know,
Hey, hey.
Hey, ho.
if
Well,
y'all,
yeah, and talk about the Master Gardener thing because you were
yeah,
saying like you didn't
yeah.
get the chance at the time, and now
Hey,
you're just too
bushcrafter.
busy to do
Well,
those
any
hours.
questions? Any questions that I can help with on the Master Gardener thing or whatever?
Well, about how long did the course take as far as the book part? It's pretty much
It took a
study
week.
on your own, huh?
It took a week. I took a week to do it, and I think that's traditionally how long it takes to go through the courses. You pretty much have
Only
to
a
take
week?
off. Yeah, I was able to do it while I was at work because I could, like I said, it was online, and I had
Okay.
the access to a computer. So
Okay.
the
So, do
Um,
they do testing? What does that all look
yeah,
like?
like is it like a
yeah,
quiz
they do
after a
go
section?
after each section.
Okay.
For me, doing it on the courses, yes, they do have testing that they go through to make sure that you understand and retain the information that they present.
Mhm.
Now, I'm sure you could take longer to do it
Yeah, I
if
might
you're doing
have
it
to with
online.
my son.
I was just in a hurry. I tend
Yeah.
to do that. I'm always in a hurry.
I may be in a hurry. I need the time to focus, and that's hard for me right now. So
Well,
even
you
tonight.
can go back with ours. You could go back and review. You could watch the thing if I wanted to. I could go on there probably right now,
Yeah,
and I just have to find the login information. And
and
then
review.
they do require you when you do donate time. Typically, you go through and you log it into the computer system to let them know how many hours you have at this function or that function. Um, but we've gone out and helped with some of the. They have sales. The
Mm-hmm.
Master Gardeners over here have sales to help raise
Yeah,
funds, and
ours do too.
we've helped with that. And we've helped out at some of the one or two of the gardens, um,
Okay,
and we've
but like you can't have. Can you have your designation as a master gardener or not until you do those hours?
well, technically, I guess I'm considered a trainee or a apprentice or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, to be honest with you, I've kind of
because you have
lost.
to usually do the hours. That's why I never started it because
Yeah,
I just wanted to
well,
be able to do it in one shot. But if I might as well do it to just gain the knowledge. I mean, that makes sense.
well, that's what I did. I mean, I've gone out, and it's like I said, it's something me and Tammy can do together.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yep.
she's been doing it for a long time, and
Mhm.
she has gone to events where she's gone through and given a talk, for example, on how to make a worm bed or how
Oh,
to
okay. Yeah,
that type of
Gardening
thing.
Warrior Q does that. She does
I
the
used to do that.
worm composting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yep.
she's done a talk a couple of times about how to make
Who has done
like worm vermicompost tea. I've
Yeah.
actually gone through a couple times and made something called weed tea, which is just taking any
Oh,
other
yeah. That's a DT.
trash.
David the Good does that. He
Yeah,
Yeah, I
calls
was
it,
going to do that.
fetid swamp water.
yeah, he does. And
David's fetid swamp water.
now I admit I was doing that before I saw David the Good thing on it, but I've looked at what he's doing and I've
Yeah.
changed my methods a little bit because of it.
Yeah. Well,
But
he's been at it since he was a kid. He had a
oh, I know.
nursery down here when he was real little.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
had a
He's
chance to meet him down at the Gulf Coast.
Did you
Uh,
get to go and meet him?
meetup.
Oh,
I
I'm
Nice.
did,
jealous. I've been
and
following for a long time, and I haven't because I was caring for mom. I never got to go to any of the meetups, and they were too far. Once he got here, he
I
was in
haven't been
northern.
watching him much lately, but I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube
I
either.
haven't been. I know, and I have my
Unfortunately, I
challenge.
need to get back
well,
at my
I,
learning.
Yeah,
I have watched in the past. I've watched a lot of stuff like him, and I don't know if you know Black Gumbo.
yeah,
Um, you
yeah.
know
Mm-hmm.
Scott Head.
Scott. Yeah,
I
that's
was
right.
in his group, David's group, and Scott Head and me, and there's his mods that are in there. There's Karen and Caroline, and we were called the Cool Kids because we
Uh,
were like his first dedicated live bunch, and Scott
Mm.
was one of them. And then
cool.
Scott's channel took off and just like
Now,
that
do
was
you
before Scott was big.
just curious? Do you know his brother?
Who? Which one? Scott has a brother, or you mean David the Good's brother?
David the Good's brother.
Flannel Farms. Yeah, I
Yeah.
watch Flannel Farm stuff, but not as much as DTG.
Well, I tend to watch these days. I tend to watch a lot of the smaller channels than the bigger channels, and I think that's primarily just because of the fact that the smaller channels a lot of times you can actually talk to folks, and it's kind of hard to get through and talk with well.
Yeah. The larger channel. Well, DTG's great about that during lives. He really does try
he's really
to
good
answer.
at that.
He even came into one of my lives and was answering questions from people in the live chat.
From me.
Oh yeah.
I picked his brain like big time. I'm like, now I've read this book of yours and I've read this book and can I
Yeah, and he loved it. I was like, it's over here now, but I had him actually right here on my side table. I pulled up his books, like, yeah, it's here. And this one, he's like, I love it that you have my books like right there. I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
I said we're talking about tropical plants tonight. So
in fact, I gave one of his books to my sister-in-law. Compost Everything.
You read that book before I even got a chance
Right.
to. I don't even know if I've read the whole book yet. I read parts of it. Because I watch so much of this stuff. And
I'm doing a lot of these two.
Oh yeah, the companion planting. I was talking to somebody actually about trees, like companion planting trees, because they were saying about one tree liking the shade of a certain other one, and they thrive off of it. And I was like, I wonder if there's companion trees, like for fruit trees, that they prefer to be next to and do better with. So that's something I'm going to be kind of looking into. I don't know if there's a book about it already. Probably is.
Right.
But yeah, it was really interesting.
I know that they have trees in these, so I'll look in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the companion planting books yet.
I'm gonna drop down. My wife was just in here a little bit ago. We've got to meet up tomorrow, and
oh my, okay,
and
have fun.
Should be. It's gonna be here, and it's nothing extensive or anything. It's just like 3 hours over in at the park. We rented out the
yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, Scott Head is in the challenge. Homestead Aquarius just reminded me. He's on John's team. He's a jellyfish. Scott had joined. Yeah, he joined the gardening homesteading skills challenge this year.
Those are
anyway, but it's your meetup and it's right there in town, pretty much.
Yeah, well, I know we've got people coming from. I mean, it's like I said, it's not a big deal. I did, primarily was thinking about folks from Mississippi because there's quite a few folks that are around here with channels and what have you. It's mostly small channels. But I went ahead and sent out the invitation. If anybody happens to be in Mississippi and wants to come by, we're going to have some real good food. My buddy Jeremiah's, cooking up a couple of pork butts for some pulled pork sandwiches and baked beans and coleslaw and smoked mac and cheese. It's supposed to be just kind of like a family style. People come and bring something, if anybody's close and you happen to be able to bring something great, there should be a lot of food there though. And it's going to be from 11 to 2 at Sunny Bridges West Side Park in Richland, Mississippi from 11 to 2. So thought I'd throw that out there.
No, it's fine. You can totally promote that. That's awesome. So what else do you have coming up before you get down other than that, like with your channels? I heard you say you now have a gardening channel and you have this one. Do you still have the Belt Loop one?
Right now I've got 5 channels. Belt Loop 29, Belt Loop 29 Cute Critters, Belt Loop 29 Gardening, Belt Loop 29 Can Cook, and YouTube Police. What's up, Bob?
Hey, Belt Loop.
And, you got a lot going on, and I'm just
trying to do that is a lot. I can only handle the one channel.
Sorry, honey, I didn't get to say hi to you earlier. You were here, and then I didn't see you again.
Well, these days I'm doing a lot of live streams. Good to see you, Wickshire.
I remember seeing you.
You're always doing a lot of live streams.
What was that?
Seems like he's always doing a lot of live streams.
Well, yeah, but I'm starting to do a lot more live. I'm trying to keep up my live streams for my main channel, which is Belt Loop 29. And
Mhm.
so I got one on Tuesday night at midnight Central Time. I do there. And
Right.
then I do one on that one on Sunday at noon, and one Saturday at 8:30 Central
Mhm.
Time. And I've been trying to help Butler Family Farms.
Mhm.
He's been pushing for the 1K and the
Yeah.
4,000 hours.
I'm at 850 something. I don't remember what the exact number is, but I let it be organic pretty much. And before that, I was helping somebody else with their channel and just kind of let mine, like, whatever.
Well,
It'll
Yeah.
happen when it'll happen.
it's funny because, um, you know, I've been almost ignoring Belt Loop 29 channel,
Yeah.
and it's been growing regardless.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, when
I've
you
been,
do a lot of lives, it does, if you're doing it and you're the main person and you're doing it with other people around the community, and
yeah,
plus you pop into a lot of people's channels,
I do.
so you're still
I,
getting around.
that's true. Although I've been
You're
popping in
still
most of
doing the
it these
work. It's
days.
not just growing on its own. Don't even say that. We
Well,
see you doing the work, Belt Loop. We
yeah,
see
but I'm not doing a lot of the. I used to do a lot of shorts, and I used to do a lot of a lot more content as far as
okay,
longer
sweetheart.
format,
Mhm.
and I'm just not doing a whole lot of that these days. I do some every now and again, but it's not like it used to be. And I'm spending a lot more time on YouTube Police, and I'm still doing some shorts for my cute critters. Let
Mhm.
me show you my baby. Come here, baby. Come here, baby girl. She's asleep, so she may not be real,
Pleased.
real inviting.
Oh, yeah, Devil Dog's one of his babies, right? One of
Yes,
his litter.
this is
Oh,
one of his baby girls, and
Aw.
she is
so
just
Mhm.
sweet. Oh,
Tired.
my hand's so tired. Just
Yeah,
hugging
she's
back.
tired. Mhm.
she is my heart and soul. She is
Yeah,
my apple of my eye.
love
Um,
those smush faces. Mm.
she's been she's saved me from a lot of the. She don't she don't want to be in
She
my
called
arms
me a
right.
smush face. She woke
She,
up
well,
when
she
I
wants to be on the couch, and in a few minutes, I'm gonna take her. We're going to go to bed. But
mm,
I lost my Lulabelle
mm,
November the 1st. It was we had gone to the meetup down in the Gulf Coast, and
yeah.
I got message that my father was in the hospital, so we left there and we went down to Hattiesburg, which is where the hospital he was in, and he
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
having some heart issues. And then we get back here, and Lulabelle was just pitiful.
No.
She had had kidney failure, and we took her up to the vet the next day, and that was
Mm.
November the 1st, and
How old
she
was
passed
she?
away. And,
How old how old was she,
and
Lil Bell?
she was about 8 years old.
Oh my
Um,
Mm.
gosh. So
so,
young.
well, we had Otis, and Otis, for the longest time, we had Otis and Lulabelle. Otis is, 8, 9 years old, I guess is how old she was.
Mhm.
And Otis was a year or two older. He's like
Mhm.
11, 12 years old, something like that. And they had been together for a long
Yeah,
time.
that's so hard.
Um,
Yeah.
and we had picked up a puppy at Tammy blames me for it because we
Mhm.
went down to the Walmart. They had about 12 puppies all in this thing in the back of this truck. And I got to thinking, well, the dogs are getting a little older.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a bad idea to pick up a dog. So we picked up Bella, and they were giving the dogs away. Um,
Yeah.
so Lulabelle started acting like a puppy again, running around with Bella. Well,
Mhm.
Lulabelle we lost on November the 1st, and Devil Dog knew that we were very sad about that because she was very special to me, maybe
Yeah.
my favorite dog of all time.
Oh,
Um,
that's so hard.
and
Yeah.
then he gave us, Nicole, and so I
Oh.
was thankful for that. But then, uh, just as Nicole was getting to know Bella, both of them puppies,
Mhm.
Bella got outside the fence. She got hit by a truck on New Year's
Aw.
Day.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry.
So
That's awful.
now I've got Nicole and I've got Otis.
Yeah.
Well, Otis is kind of a cranky old man compared to Nicole, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nicole's wanting to play,
Yeah.
and Otis don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But we are going to be getting a new puppy from Devil Dog out of his next.
Oh, neat. Oh, good. Oh, good.
So,
That'll
we
be
fell
great.
in
so she'll
love.
have somebody to play with.
Yeah, she'll have somebody to play
I
with.
used to have a Boston Terrier named Spencer.
Aw.
It's real cute.
Oh my
Well-
goodness. We had a pug, and our pug grew up with my daughter. And when we were up with my dad and he was in such bad condition, Theron had to call me and say, she's got to be put down. And it was awful. It was like, she was 5 when we got that dog. That was her sibling. Most of her life was this little pug. And yeah, that was a hard one. And then last night I'm watching an Alaskan vet, and she did the same thing. Her dog died, and her daughter babied that dog. That was her baby. That was her friend, best friend, and it was a pug that looked just like Dora. So I'm like, oh, I forgot we went through that too. Yeah, we went through that. Like, looked just like Dora. Oh, it was terrible. It was like, why did I do this to myself? I should have turned the TV off. Like, she's not doing well on the show. As soon as I saw that, I should have been like, no.
Yeah.
But she looked so much like Dora. I just wanted to watch her because she looked just so much like her. Kind of like if you've ever lost somebody, you've been out the store and you see somebody that looks like them, and you just kind of pause, but you watch them, like, just to see that person again that's gone. Like, it gives that feeling like they're with you for a second.
Right.
Well, I've got quite a bit of video of Lola Bell and Bella because I've been shooting, and it's hard to watch sometimes.
Hey, Cornfed.
Yeah. Hey, Cornfed, nice you came in. Yeah, it is. It's hard.
But anyhow, I'm sorry. I keep.
No, that's okay.
I meander through conversations, and I'd start chasing rabbits, and
I do that. I think it's part of the ADHD for me that I never got fully diagnosed with, but they said just give her a little more discipline, and just that should cure it.
I have come to believe that I've got that ADHD. I've come to believe I do have that ADHD because I chase rabbits or squirrels all over the place every time I turn around.
I do too.
Well, enjoy your meetup. It sounds awesome.
Thank you. We will. Y'all have a blessed night.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good night, CR. Take care.
Oh, good night, CR. I didn't see you.
Good night, CR.
Take care, CR.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be back.
How was the missus? She had the food?
Yeah, she brought me a burger tonight. My son was in the kitchen. He tied the kitchen up. He's cooking. He's got his headphones on. He's watching a boxing match while he's cooking. So she just brought me a burger tonight. Most nights she makes me something to eat or warms up some dinner that was from earlier in the day.
Yeah.
She's not so stressed out.
You used to get double dinners. I remember that. She would make something, then she'd bring you a little treat.
Always. I can't refuse, Yeah, but not so stressed out tonight. She had the other day they had a patient that he's an enormous man, and he has dementia. And he decided to stand up while he's in a wheelchair.
Oh no.
So he slid out of the wheelchair, and they got 5 Filipino nurses and aides and technicians trying to lift this guy back up into the wheelchair. He lives in an assisted living, and his wife is his caregiver at that clinic where she was working, and she wasn't really watching him. But so get this was just the other day. So they had to call the paramedics, and it took 6 great big husky paramedics to get this guy back into the wheelchair so his wife could take him out and take him back to the care facility. And but I guess he's an enormous man and he's confused, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
How
so
difficult for like her. She sounds, like she's got more than her hands full if it took all those people
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
to
yeah,
pick him
yeah.
up.
5 Filipinos couldn't get him up off the ground or into the chair, and then 6 big, two
Yeah.
paramedics showed up, and they had to call for 4 more to be able to get him back in the wheelchair.
Mhm.
Well, it's not only that, but
Yeah.
there's a follow on with the paperwork and the incident reports and
Oh, yeah.
reviewing the
Yeah.
video and
All the butt
on and on.
covering. Cover the butt. Cover the butt.
Yeah, that's and so that just doubled her workload immediately. And
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I never like all the paperwork. I
yeah,
know Garden State Gardener will sends us pictures sometimes of his paperwork because he does the medical billing and it's just stacks. And I'm
oh
like,
yeah,
that gives me anxiety just seeing that. Like I
oh
just
yeah, I
because I used to deal with that as a teacher. It was though for ESE kids because I was a special. They in the
Yep.
special classes you get
hmm
a lot of the ESE kids.
Stacks. Yep.
And
yeah,
you get
it's like
stacked.
Because they have to meet their goals, and you have to.
Yeah, and their
You know.
evaluations. I didn't know that as a first year teacher, so I didn't get through that stack. Probably some of
yeah,
it did not get done.
it
Because
was
I didn't know. Nobody trained me really. You just get thrown in.
Yep.
yeah,
You
I
do.
had stacks of FAA paperwork working on the airplanes and
Mhm.
answering engineering dispositions and customer concerns and on and on and on.
Yeah.
I could do the work fine, but I didn't
Yeah.
like the paperwork, didn't care for it.
No, me either.
But
I like the hands-on work and working with the
yeah,
kids more
yeah,
than
yeah,
sitting
me
at my
too.
desk and
When
hmm
I was an EA, um, the teacher that I was working with,
Mhm.
he was like, "So, how would you word this in this IEP?"
Yeah.
Like, oh my
hmm
goodness. I'm like, "Well, I would say this."
That's why they make them take like, I didn't know this, but now you have to take when you re-up your, teaching certificate, you have to take, like, the ESE coursework, and
Mhm.
they have one, I think, specifically on autism
Mm,
because you're dealing with so many autistic students now that you
Oh,
have to have that as part of your re-upping coursework is an ESE course.
yeah.
You can choose one, but the other one has to be chosen within the special education area,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that screwed me because I didn't know they had changed that law or
mhm.
whatever statute for when I went back to re-up my teaching certificate because I was state certified for 20 years. I kept waiting to go back to work,
Yeah.
thinking one day I might go back to work as an art teacher, maybe in elementary public, I don't know. And it's good too if you're homeschooling because you can do other people's evaluations.
Mm,
But I never got into that because of being an art major. I didn't want that responsibility on my shoulders.
right.
Like, I was like, "I don't know if I count because 'cause I'm a special. I'm not sure. I don't, do the 3 Rs or any of that." So,
Right.
I mean, a little bit, but I was nervous to do that. But it's good money at the end of the
Yeah.
year. It's like $50 pop.
Hmm.
If it's a longer evaluation with the test, it's like $100. I should go back and re-up my teachings.
Yeah, you should.
Mm.
My sister does it. She's an RN and she used to do my evaluations all the time and making sure that I was properly certified on all my things and stuff like that. And
What was your certification? You said it, but I don't know what.
I had a CNA for a while.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
that was who I was so grateful for with my mom was the CNA. She could
Mm-hmm.
wash my mom's hair like nobody's business. I had such a hard time with that. She knew how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she helped me so much take care of
hmm
mom in those times when mom was just full of so much water. Like the water was coming on her at the end and it was really hard to move her. CNAs make the medical
They may,
world round.
Mm-hmm.
they make it look easy. I know.
Yeah.
I learned a
Right?
lot from
But
the CNAs helping to take care of my mom. Yeah.
and then I had all like worked under delegations for all kinds of stuff that RNs are certified on,
Mhm.
and so like trikes and G tubes and you know all kinds of crazy stuff. So
That's awesome, AC. Autistic people get to be farmers. And
that
it's
is awesome.
I love that idea. Say that again, Laura. My brain went and farted on
Yeah,
me while you were
they
talking.
they could do
'Cause I saw
farming.
it.
Sure, they could.
You ended up doing what was it with the CNA? Say
Oh,
that again. Sorry.
well, I worked under a lot of different delegations too. That I was, certified or certified. I don't know. I can't speak English.
You had multiple certifications.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
I see. I knew. We're helping each other tonight
Mm-hmm.
in those
Getting through it.
moments.
I am getting tired.
Yeah, you look
Yeah.
a little bit
Healthy.
tired. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. Me too.
Yeah, I had certifications, all these FAA certifications for different work.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you have, it was nice because, well, like flap and rotopene, the metal for reworking, structural
Yeah.
repair, that's guaranteed to get you overtime because not many people had that. And there would
Mm,
be a damage on an airplane. And we need someone who's certified to come down and flat peen this blend, blending on the wings or the wing
yeah.
stub, but different
Mm-hmm.
thing. Okay, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
I'll finish my work over here, and then I'll come down on overtime. And
So flat peen, what is that? Is it a machine or are you hand doing it like with the
it's
metal?
both. It's
Okay.
both. It's where you you have to. It's
I'm thinking of that hammer that I have, but I'm like, he's
no,
not
no.
doing that.
See you later, Worcestershire.
No. It's where it's
No,
an air
no,
powered tool that rotates
it's
with
really.
these little like cloth pieces of fabric with steel balls embedded in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would have to set the tool for the right speed and the right intensity and do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of mathematic calculation on how large of an area, how long I need to work the area. And what peening does is it just lightly puts millions of little dents on the
Okay.
surface of the metal and
Oh,
hardens that one spot because say if
okay.
you get a tool mark underneath on the bottom side of a wing or the
Mm-hmm.
wing stub structures and other structures that are
Mm-hmm.
already peened by the
Yeah.
manufacturer, you have to blend the tool mark out to a certain ratio and then come back in and do the math and calculate the intensity
Wow.
and the longevity of how long you have to peen that surface. And it's a specific
Wow.
that certification got me a lot of overtime.
I
Get
bet
paid
it
me.
did because it sounds complicated and not many
It
people
is.
would want to do
It
it.
is.
Yeah.
It takes a long time just to be able to set the machinery up to be able to do
Wow.
that job. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, Bob. That's
that's
great.
just one of the certificates. I had oxygen on, high and low oxygen and fuel systems and PDOT and static and it's just
Wow.
stuff that you guys are not even aware of what's
Yeah,
going
because
on in
it's
an
your own
airplane.
vocabulary. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you guys just get in the airplane and turn on
Pretty
sit
much.
down. There's a lot goes into there before you guys can get into the airplane.
Oh, night, Brenda. Thank you for coming in, spending time with us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Night.
I don't have my problem is I okay. Let's just check. I'll end it soon. I couldn't see the time because of the way my window is on my computer. I
Oh
blew it
yeah.
up. I blew it up extra big and I don't know how to make it smaller. Because I'm never on this laptop. This laptop is
Yeah.
in this like room and I can't take it out that much because then Malachi takes an interest in it and I might not have
Yeah.
it anymore if he
Mm-hmm.
decides
I
to
understand.
and toss it. Yeah. He did bed stripping today. He's never done that where he's completely stripped the bed. And I was
Oh.
like, no, please, God, don't let that start.
Yeah. That was Jonah's thing.
He was a bed stripper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That's weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
It's actually autistic kids. A lot of them do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Huh.
thing. Yeah. I know. I didn't know either, Bob, because Hannah wasn't as severe as Malachi. And I found it out from actually watching another mother of an autistic boy
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook. And she was saying he would just bring it on downstairs, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if she said she was grateful because it was just his bed. Like at first he was going through all the beds upstairs.
Mm,
Oh boy.
Yeah, and bringing them down. So then it ended up being just his bed. Like they were trying to work with that. Is what she was talking about. And I was the same way, Bob. Like I was like, what was? I've never heard that behavior.
mhm,
And as I'm saying that in my mind, she explains it that it's a
mhm.
common thing
Yeah.
for some autistic children. I don't know why I didn't get to that part.
Right.
Do you know why? Is it like a sensory for them, or
I think it is a sensory for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
just the holding of all that, the
Mhm,
covers maybe?
mhm.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you need to go to bed, Laura? It's
I do.
okay. Okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
You know me.
Yeah.
I can keep going till like 3:30 a.m. in the
Yeah,
morning.
I know you can.
I don't want to put that on you, but
Now I was starting to think about maybe doing a live before yours
oh, okay.
to rev up things. I don't know if there's somebody else that I'd be stepping on if I did that.
I don't. Josh does pop-up lives. I don't know if he has a specific time yet, but he's going to take some time off.
Mhm.
So I don't think there's anybody right before
Mm.
me. That's the only thing though, is I'll have Malachi up. So popping up, you'll have him
Yeah,
in the background if you invite me up at
that
all.
doesn't bother me, but
Yeah. Okay.
it might bother other people, but you know. I mean,
That
I
would be
used to
great.
have, Jonah like, hi.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if anybody would understand, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. She's on the downsy. Yeah. Laura's on the downsy.
Yeah. I'm not
So-
used to staying up this late anymore because I wake up really early. So
Yeah. We've been doing all that work on the house and getting land ready and yeah,
mhm.
Hmm.
Chris.
now,
Yeah.
now we have animals to feed in the morning and all of that.
That's awesome. So what's the next thing for them to look for on the channel coming up?
We're
Great.
going to be building our chicken coop.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
getting that all ready. And Chris is like, it's going to be styling. Chris has
Mhm.
got it all worked out. So
Have you guys put out any shorts of the different animals that you have on your land? Like putting it to music, like what you've spotted?
we've done one short, and I don't know
Okay.
if it's to music, but
Well, however you did it, but I mean, like, I
no,
was
we
just,
have a turkey on the land that's wild, and um, our electrician that did our house, um, his name was Frank, and he's a turkey hunter, and
Oh.
so that turkey's name is Frank.
Frank. I was going to say, did you name it Frank?
So it's like we'll see him fly by, like he'll freak out and fly off, or he'll run real quick, and he's
all
always
by
around.
himself.
And so we're like,
Oh,
Frank.
Frank, come back. We'll be your friends.
Yeah.
We can be your friends. You can stay till Thanksgiving, and then we don't know after that.
Well, after Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving, we'll see. We'll just
Yeah,
see
we'll
what
see.
happens.
Well, I have
We'll
a turkey that I'm probably
renegotiate.
going to dispatch before Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Better than wild turkey.
He's in the brooder right now, so.
Aw. So
Yeah.
that's something to look forward to too. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
I
we'll
have some
be-
Cornish cross coming,
Nice.
so I'm going to be raising some meat birds.
Very nice.
So I'm doing that whole thing, and yeah.
So your soil will be getting enriched real soon.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be grazing the meat birds, moving them every day and all of that stuff. And so,
Oh, you guys are doing like chicken tractor?
yeah, chicken tractor for the meat birds, not for the other ones, because we got feeders and stuff like that. If we want to go away for a day or two, we can feed them during that time. But we do have baby geese that are.
Yeah, those are the ones you said are getting real big.
Yeah, and a couple of ducks and a turkey and 10 chickens.
Oh, wow.
And we have 3 more regular chickens coming and a bunch of meat birds coming.
Oh, here's a question for you.
It will be, yeah. Yeah, we do have a lot of coyotes.
How do you exactly coyote-proof a coop? They're
Um,
a pack. It's like
yeah,
not one, you get a whole pack that come
right.
in.
You just make it
That's
really strong. You put
mm,
windows in it, and
electric
then
put it in the electrified fence
hmm
inside.
and
Yeah.
then we'll do because mice are an issue, snakes are an issue,
Yeah.
bobcats,
Oh, yeah.
raccoons probably. Yeah. We'll do the hard wire. It's like the little squares, like in the
Mhm.
windows and all. Even if we put a vent up, it will
Mhm.
be over that. We're gonna on our floor. We're gonna do under the floor. We're gonna be doing the wire as well,
Okay.
so mice can't get up and eat through the floor.
Oh, the hardware. I
The
know what you're talking about
the
now. The hardware.
hardware wire.
Hardware wire. Yeah, that's what they
Yeah,
call it.
Hardware
Yeah.
wire, that's it.
Hmm.
it's the
Yeah.
little squares.
Hmm.
Yeah, instead of
So
the
we'll be
chicken
doing that.
smaller. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wish I had gotten that hardware wire because I need that for my pepper plants now
nice.
because of the picking animal, whatever can just pick it off.
Yeah, and that's why we have the geese too. Because if a big bird sees another big bird, they'll leave the birds
Oh,
alone.
I didn't know
So
that.
they're
Oh,
protective. So
okay.
we'll probably put one of our geese with the Cornish cross and one
Mhm.
of our geese with the regular flock. And then
Yeah.
they'll both be with the regular flock when,
Oh, yeah, now that you said that, now I'm having flashbacks of, the
Mm.
big channel that
yeah.
yeah, I won't say it, but yeah, now I
Yeah.
remember.
But our geese are
Um,
Huey and Louie. So
The only thing is you're now gonna have to film with geese behind you, and sometimes they don't stop. I just saw
you
that
just
on
got to
one of
feed
our
them.
yeah, okay. Here, eat that. Okay.
Oh, that's good thinking. Distract them with food. That's good
Hmm.
thinking. That's good thinking. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
smart
I got
one
to
this
turn off
time.
the goose alarm. So,
Alright, sounds good. Sounds like you got a lot going on. Awesome.
yeah, I do.
Mhm.
All right, you guys. We'll see you.
All right.
See
Good
you
night,
soon,
Laura.
hopefully.
Great.
Mm.
Bye,
Good night.
Laura. Much love. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool. So now what do you think you'll plant instead of your beloved rhubarb?
Oh, I'm pretty much done planting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the only thing that I'm doing currently is well, like right now, the stuff that I got growing is I've got those two pots of peas. One was
Mhm.
in starts, and they're about that tall, and I'm getting
Yeah.
peas now. Then another pot of peas they're about that
Mhm.
big,
Okay.
and then the pot next to that one is Swiss chard and
Nice.
nasturtiums mixed in with those,
Hmm.
and then also a large clay pot of yellow squash with nasturtiums mixed in with those.
Oh, you're doing
They're
really
all about so big. We
okay.
just now started getting some warm weather,
Yeah.
within a week ago, and because other than that, it's been like 40
It's so
degrees.
crazy, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's
and
ours is actually cool for this time of year, but
mhm,
and then we're getting all this rain. We got it in spring.
mhm.
It's just seems so strange that it's hitting us so
all
early.
all the plants are just waiting for the warm weather to come and
Yep.
stay. You know, but
It is 73 where I'm at.
it's 60 right now, right here, 60. Yep.
I'm in
Hmm.
South Florida in the tropics, and it's 73 and
Hmm.
some like, almost summer. That's weird. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on?
I'm doing just some spot repair with the grass out in the back and in the front. Any place that's got
Yeah.
weeds, I go in there and manually dig them out of the grass and then just
Mhm.
reseed it.
Yeah.
'Cause I want the place to be ship shape. So
Nice.
hopefully in a few years we'll be able to sell it and get out of here.
Oh, okay.
I hope so.
That
But
might be the retirement, the real
yeah, right.
retirement time.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. Just sell this place and get at whatever equity we can out of
Mhm.
it and get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should try, for the missus, if it does warm up, they're just fun to grow, but you need a trellis, is the asparagus beans. They're the long beans.
Hmm.
They usually stir fry them in a lot of Asian cultures.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're fun, and they're so easy to save seed from. They're just a
Hmm.
fun crop. And you can put them over too, like a
Mm.
arch trellis, and they just hang down. And they're, like, really long.
Yeah, like those Chinese beans or whatever they
Yeah,
call
they're
them.
like a
Yeah.
Chinese bean. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Yeah. We
fun.
were we were pretty limited on funds because we had just well we went over the Philippines twice last year,
Okay.
and then we moved with a move in the middle of all of that,
My god. Yeah.
and on and on. So the stuff that I started off with is just pretty much all that I'm going to grow this year.
Gotcha.
I can't really do much more
Yeah.
because now
Well,
comes
I
some.
just was thinking once the peas fade out because 'cause they're more cold weather, it's
Mhm.
just, something to put in their place if you want. No, if you're done, then that's fine.
Yeah, pretty much done planting. Yeah, if the peas don't go any farther than they do, well, we'll just pull them up and rework the
Yeah.
soil and. But I know that the yellow squash, it requires bright direct
Mhm.
sunlight. That will
Yeah.
grow. You know, then all
Yeah.
the nasturtiums in there, and same with the Swiss
So
chard and
pretty.
stuff.
I love
Yeah,
the nasturtiums. I forgot
mhm.
to plant them this year.
I've got them potted up all over the place here,
I'm gonna
but
plant some roselle. I think I have the seeds. If not, I've got, um, somebody who said they'll send me some who's
mhm.
above me in Central Florida.
Right on.
Uh, it's a Living Miracles homestead. She's great, Kathy,
Yeah,
really nice. And
I've
Glenn
got
has
them.
some mustard I wanna get a hold of.
I
Yeah.
got those nasturtiums plugged into almost all my flower pots and
Mhm.
just combine everything together. And
Yeah,
yeah,
them and marigolds. The marigolds and the nasturtiums are great companion flowers
hmm
to scare away the bugs, but
and
it's
they bring in the hummingbirds too. That's one thing I really like.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We don't have to I don't have that, I'm not in their path. They usually come in
oh,
just in March, they fly through in my area.
as they're
I
migrating south, is that what they're
When they're
doing? Yeah.
migrating, yeah, to Central
hmm
America,
Okay.
and we're not I think they what it is they hang closer to the coastline because,
Okay.
like, I have, our pastor and his wife live just east of us, more towards, like, 95 and towards the beach, and he's seen them. He said he's seen them come through his yard,
Right on.
but I think I've seen one, and that was, like, the morning after my dad passed.
hmm
I saw my first and only hummingbird in our yard. Haven't seen
Well,
another one. Yeah,
yeah, I think it was yesterday I saw one of them zipping around. He's
I
checking out
love
all of
them.
our flowers and stuff, and then
Mhm.
he's making a mental inventory. We'll come back
Mhm.
in a week or so when these flowers are blooming more. Yeah,
I know, they're so smart for such a tiny little bird.
they are. And the thing I really enjoy about all the flowers that are doing, all of them are doing very well, is like first thing in the morning and right after nightfall, the fragrance that they all kicked out. And it's like,
Mhm.
oh man, I love the smell of that stuff.
The
I'd step
jasmine, is it? The night blooming jasmine? Or
no,
the
these are just the petunias and a few
mm,
others. Then for
mhm,
whatever reason at nighttime, just after nightfall, poof, they
mhm,
kick a lot of fragrance out. Same with
mhm.
early morning when the flowers basically wake up, you know.
Yeah, they do.
And
They say that to with roses too, plant like, if you're gonna cut them early in the morning, and you get more
mhm.
fragrance out of them.
Oh, I believe that. Mhm.
Mhm. Marigolds are Oh, yeah, they are a trap crop, I've heard that too. Oh, really? Yeah, I have the calendula or calendula, I have that, I wanted to plant that this year and just didn't get a chance to. Hey, Grumps on Fire, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, totally a night owl. Yeah, I didn't know that they actually I've never seen anything eating my marigolds, though, when I've had them out. I can't stand the smell of marigolds. I hate it.
Hmm.
Cannot stand it. I can smell, like, it just for some note in the marigolds, like, does me wrong. The olfactory.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
I'm not attracted to them either. I
Yeah,
don't care for them,
yeah,
but,
me either.
they work well for other people, but, not for my place.
Yeah. I do love the nasturtiums, though, and then you can use those in salads. People say marigolds are edible, but I would never wanna eat one.
Mhm.
If the smell turns me off, I can't imagine having that in my mouth under my olfactory, like, all up in there. No,
Yeah.
we're not allowed to smell things on video. No, I don't think it works that way. They haven't figured that one out yet, you see. But, yeah, I cannot get out to my plants too much because we keep having rain. And I went and checked on my tomatoes, and they're very tall, and I'm just hoping I'm gonna get fruit because it keeps raining, and it's raining on my flowers that form the tomatoes. So, yeah. But I'm gonna end it. It's, like, getting
Okay.
late, and you're
Yeah, I'm
getting
getting
tired
tired.
too. Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, I
I've
can.
known you long enough.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can tell. Alright, everybody, have a good night. Thank you for coming
Peace
in
out,
and
everybody.
supporting
All
me.
right. Good
Really
night.
appreciate it. Good night.
Go snuggle with Mrs.